Okay, so where do we leave it then? So we've had a bit of a standoff, and weapons are all down now. There's a few bodies on the floor, regrettably.
Uh-uh.
Like a good night out.
They started it, Your Honour.
Sorry, Your Honour, I thought it was Saturday night in the pub.
Mad Friday.
Yeah. Like Friday's Tales. People had to die.
It is what it
Technically, Cade started it.
is. I like how you've gone back in.
Technically.
Fucking kid.
Listen.
Always starting trouble.
Why did I start it technically?
Because you were the first person to cast, do something that would be technically termed as offensive. You cast a spell.
Oh, technically.
Technically, Kate has used non-lethal, things so far. So Kate is
Technically,
preserving
Cade
life.
cast a distraction as opposed to a fireball, for which we are all immensely grateful.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't think so. Kate is the culprit here. You're just trying to make me one. No, thank you.
Technically, we got poisoned.
Yes, technically that's
Technically,
quite
that was the
offensive.
first. That was the first offence. Was attempted poisoning.
Well, yeah.
Attempted successful poisoning.
Yeah, so technically, Kate is not a
Well,
culprit.
I will point out that we couldn't tell between you being poisoned and fighting because you spent like 2 rounds just moving air around.
Flailing. Windmilling.
Just making
And then
shapes.
Obol joined you, throwing some shapes.
Oh, the fucking middle of core. Just throwing that.
So we didn't know it was fear causing it, or you're just having fun.
Me and both got poisoned.
You did.
Yeah.
We know.
Like
Yeah, we
this.
were just taking the nick. That's why you guys were a little ineffective the first couple of rounds. You're still recovering. Yeah, so I think we left it with the commander had been knocked unconscious
Yep.
by Lutai. He took his last blow, was a non-fatal one, just basically slapped her unconscious. And then the bear ran up and then decided to, I think, sit on her instead of kill her. And Fafuk was up in front with a Castellan saying, okay, we're going to trust you to sort this out. There's absolutely zero chance that we're getting incarcerated while the slow machinery shafts us as part of the system. We've had a very recent unpleasant prisoner experience, and we don't care how nice your facilities are, but we're not going to be sat in them. So we're going to talk this through, and then we're going to walk out of here with a license. And well, I suppose this is the rest of the discussion with the party is, what do we want her to do with her commander who's clearly in cahoots? I would say wrangle a zone of truth. Let's get to the bottom of this, and then we can be on our merry way, and they can leave us the hell alone.
Right.
I think we should search your apartment. Actually,
I don't think you're in a position to do that.
I think we are, Phil.
I've literally got my teeth around the neck. I'm pretty sure if I wanted to search
Not
the apartment,
unless
nobody can stop me.
Not unless you're going to continue to fight your way through the place.
No, we don't want to fight. They wanted to. I mean, she wanted to fight. So we just want a peaceful solution, and we don't want to kill anyone. Okay, but we will defend ourselves at all costs. So if you want to harm us, we will harm you as well.
Right. So anyway, as it stands, everybody has downed weapons at the moment.
Then
Yeah, all the spears
I'll
got
release-
tossed on the ground in front of us.
No,
So-
no, nobody's dropped weapons on the floor. People have lowered weapons.
Oh, I thought you said the guy. Oh, sorry, the ones we took prisoner back in the conference room dropped all their weapons.
Yes.
Yeah. It's that or die. So yeah, fair dues.
Okay, so once there's an air of things have calmed down slightly, and everybody's lowered the weapons, Grutter appeals to everybody to calm the tension down and calls for one of the guards to go and fetch Shilao from the temple. We will
Well, he's the dude I spoke to earlier, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Cool.
So we'll resolve this. The cleric will resolve this for us. We'll get to the bottom of this once and for all.
Diplomatically.
Right.
Okay.
So this guard rushes off and says, Grush says, right, I want everybody to calmly assemble in the yard outside, in the courtyard outside. This needs to be done properly, and it needs to be done in front of the people of the fort. So everybody knows this has been done above board, and so everybody knows the truth, whatever that may be.
Fook nods approvingly. He loves an audience.
Cade is whispering to Fufuk. He might be leading us into a kill zone, so be careful.
I suggest that we go first, as a gesture of goodwill to the Castellan.
Make it apparent that we're doing that to her.
Fook nods approvingly.
Grutter requests that the druid returns to his normal state.
His
How would she know? She
non-bear-like state.
didn't see me as a bear. She didn't see me as a human.
Yeah, but
dwarf
nobody-
even.
A bear didn't come into the fort.
Okay.
That is
I
true.
will.
Does she even know where a bear is?
Well, yeah,
I'll
she's from
turn
Greyhawk.
back.
Yeah,
I'll
but
turn
isn't
back
she-
into a. I'll
The
turn
Chiltern, isn't
back
she?
from
No,
a
she's
hairy
not.
dinosaur.
All flaming fist stuff from Greyhawk.
Right.
Declan's back in the room.
Okay. Right.
I must say, Druid, you are jam-packed full of surprises.
Not even started yet.
Okay. So, over the course of the next half hour, everyone is assembled in the courtyard of the keep. A number of commoners are called to witness events.
I asked the Castellan if I have time while people are being assembled, if I could do a performance.
No.
Since we're waiting.
And I'll put my hand over to Fook's mouth. No. No.
Okay, let's just wait while everybody loads onto this map.
I mean, we've got like 100 people with nothing else to do. I could go.
This is not the time for performances.
It is the perfect time. It would preoccupy their mind, and they would turn, as allies towards us.
I think there's
Or
been
rile them up.
there's
If
been
he
enough
fell
of
from
a
his
performance already, hasn't there?
I don't know. That was a bit of a. Okay. Whoa. Are those
So-
undead?
Oh, well zoomed in, that one.
Who are the people with cloths over there? They're not undead, are they?
No, they're
No, they're the
common.
commoners.
Yeah,
So, and why are we standing at the middle surrounded by people? Why don't they stand on one side and we stand on the other side? I don't like this setup.
It's better this way, we won't get flanked.
Yeah.
We're already flanked.
Apart from Lu Hai. 'Cause
Well,
he's
no.
standing
If
up
we
his
want,
own.
if we want to, we've basically got like 2 guards to barge out the way, and then we're in the commoners. They can't attack us without getting the commoners. So.
Saying this out of character, Phil.
uh-huh.
Not having this conversation.
Yeah. It might be advisable in future to make a note of when you are speaking out of character. Let it slide for quite a while, but yeah, I would advise you make that distinction.
I'll keep a wary eye on the guards anyway that I'm facing
Okay.
or around me.
Right, so as this is being set up, Grutter sort of talks to you with a lowered voice, saying, I just want to get to the bottom of this matter. I'm quite aware that you're more than capable of fighting your way past any number of guards that I put around us. but we have to do this officially.
I've no problem with that.
And if you will trust,
Fafuk nods approvingly and feels the process should continue.
if you will trust me on this, if you will hear me out and trust me on this, I think Sildar would be pleased with your actions.
Sildar?
Fafuk chokes on his spit.
I'll just look at a puzzle.
Right, she
Yeah,
sort of
Fafuk is like open book. Is like, what?
so she sort of gives you a sort of a knowing look.
Fafuk mutters something about that would have saved us a lot of time if we'd known that piece of information a long time ago.
Some people were a little bit quick to temper, I'm afraid. But anyway, let this trial commence.
Trial.
Trial. We were there was that we're gonna talk, not trial.
So how do these trials work then? Death by combat.
Pick
Yeah.
me, pick me.
I picked the bear.
Right, so Grutter like glares at yours, says, I'd ask you to be quiet and have some respect for proceedings.
I apologise, I'm sorry.
Yeah, me too.
Right, so Grutter turns to the cleric to what's she called? Oh, he called. It's got a female. Shilau, the cleric, turns to her and speaks in a lowered voice to her, and she begins casting a spell and calling upon St. Cuthbert.
Do I recognise it?
You can make it's not really an Arcana check, is it? Is it an Arcana check for it? It'd be an Arcana check, but with wisdom, I guess.
Religion?
Oh, I can
No.
try that.
No, I can't.
No. Only if you're a cleric.
11.
11.
I'm guessing it's one I've never cast before. I probably know
Yeah,
it, but I've never actually used it.
No, so you suspect, you're not sure, you suspect it's some kind of divination.
Can Cade recognize the spell?
You can try, but be at disadvantage because it's not arcane magic.
Fair deal. So what shall I roll for it, please?
That will be an Arcana check for you.
Okay, I roll twice and disadvantage. Okay, once, twice.
4. That was almost a 20. You suck.
Yeah, you have no idea.
Well, you rolled 11, I rolled 13. That's higher. So why
I
do you
don't know
say
that.
I'm suck?
I don't know that.
Okay, fine.
I just know you don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea. That's fine. No worries. Thank you.
All right, carry on.
Okay, so Grutter waits for a confirmation from Shilau, and then he turns. It says, "Will you please, in person, or each individual person, state your name and point of origin."
Oh shit.
Right.
Couldn't step forward.
You feel you are compelled to tell the truth.
No, I'll give
You
my
were-
name and place of origin, Phil.
So you are compelled. If you give an answer, you will be compelled to tell the truth. You can choose to not answer, but if you answer, you must tell the truth.
I can't remember, but yeah, I'll just tell the truth. Can't remember where my origin city is.
I tell the truth as well.
Can we talk out of character?
Yeah, as long as you say it's out of character, then it's out of character.
We've already gave somebody this information, haven't we?
Yeah, but it's for the proceedings. It's like a
It's
court.
just so they can confirm that it's working, the spell's working.
Yeah, but if anybody tries bullshitting, then that's what I'm worried about.
Well, that's their fault, then, isn't it?
Uh-huh. So we
So-
have already told people this information, at least somebody once.
Yep. So, in character, go through and give your name or the name that you're giving. Well, you've got to give your real name, so
Yeah.
you have no
I can't
choice.
remember the name of that city. It was the one.
If-
I remember you and I picked one, but I never actually wrote
Yeah,
it
if you
down.
can't
I'm
if you
happy-
can't remember that,
Yeah.
let's don't worry about it. Just-
I am picked one, but mine's just a little tiny village in the middle of nowhere anyway. It's nothing remarkable.
Semantics, just
Yeah.
go with it.
So I'll give my name and place of origin.
Everybody,
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll step forward.
But tell the truth.
Yeah.
I'll let slip that my middle name's Terrence,
Terrence.
much to the amusement of everybody else.
okay.
My middle name is actually Terrence.
Fook reveals his middle name is Sake.
But yeah, 100% truthful. Not trying to deceive anybody.
Okay.
From the hills.
Right. Next, she asks, and again she stresses that she wants each of you to answer in turn individually. It says, are you an associate of Commander Liara Portier?
No.
No.
Who is that? No.
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 By
No.
associate, you don't mean the person who beats her up in a fight. You mean someone who collaborates and works with. Yes.
Friend
Cohorts.
No.
or ally, etc.
Negative.
What is your favorite color? What is your reason for visiting Fort Beluarian?
Get a permit.
Get an expedition permit and to give the information that we have about the pirates.
For as much money as we could squeeze out, Commander.
Commander Portier.
Okay, still waiting for an answer. Or rather, she's waiting for an answer from each of you.
It's the same answer.
Same answer.
Same answer.
Verbatim.
Okay, says right. She opens like a scroll, like a leather binder, and she removes a sheet of papers. Says, do you recognise these papers, these shipping logs from Port Ganzaroo?
Well, I won't because I didn't have a look.
The cleric gave us, the clerk gave us a list. Is that what you're talking about?
Are these your papers?
I don't know. I mean, are they our papers? That's what I'm asking you. Have I seen them before?
As a GM, not the character.
Yeah.
So out of
Sorry,
character. Yeah. So no, you haven't. No.
Even in character, I'd say, can I see them, please? Because I
Right.
can't recognise them.
Right.
from light.
Yeah. So Grutta steps forward and hands them to you so you can look at them.
I flick through, is it
No.
anything-
No. It's not. It appears to be copies, handwritten copies of some of the logs, the shipping logs from the harbour office.
Yeah,
What ships do they pertain to?
Sorry.
no, there's-
What ships do they pertain to?
It's copies of the logs that you've seen at the harbour master's office.
No, because we just saw the logs. We didn't make copies, did we?
Yeah,
no,
but
we
if
did make
they're showing
copies,
us,
no.
if they're showing us pieces of paper, then surely there's going to be names of ships on there and stuff coming and going.
Yeah, it's exact copies of what's in the logs.
I'll say no, they're not ours, but we have seen those logs, the originals.
Yeah, they're not ours.
It was those logs that we actually asked Commander Portier about.
Do you or do you not know the location of the pirates, of the pirate ships? I forgot what the names of the ships are.
No.
Dragon Fang.
The Dragon Fang,
Urge.
the Sturge, and the... Oh, for God's sake, where is it?
The Emerald Eye.
The Emerald Eye, that's the one.
Tackler
Another
puts his
question
hand
again
up
about that.
and just
What
says,
was-
right now, no. But we know where they're based.
What were the question again? Sorry, repeat it, Phil.
Do you know the location of those ships?
We know where the base
No.
of operations is, but
But
we
we
don't
don't
know
know
the
where they are.
location at the present.
Yeah, we know their secret base. Yes. Because we were held prisoner there. I play to the crowd.
Right, it says, are you associates of said pirates?
No.
No.
Fuck no.
Are you responsible for the murder of the two sailors in that were drowned in Port Yanzaru?
No.
No.
Nope.
They rescued us. Why would we kill them?
Are you responsible for the issuing of an assassination contract on a son of one of the merchant princes of Port Yanzaru?
No.
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 And how expensive that ship is. We couldn't afford to do that. Oh, no. No, we haven't.
Your Honor.
You're wrong.
Right. Says I think that will be all for now.
Hang on, can't we ask some questions?
No, you're not here to ask questions. You're here to answer them, to determine
I suggest?
your innocence. No, you'll be. Well,
Can I
if you-
suggest some questions?
no, you cannot at this point. If you'll,
Out of interest, sorry for interrupting, but are these questions going to be asked of Commander Portier?
we shall be conducting further proceedings. At this point, what we need to ask of you is finished. So if you will go along with the guards inside the fort, so we may proceed with the rest of the proceedings.
Okay. Very strange way of trial because we cannot express our opinions.
You're not being
And we
asked for your
cannot-
opinions at the
And
moment.
we cannot ask questions from the opposing party.
Let's just play nice.
I'll ask.
I play nice. I just express
As
what I think about.
I ask Gruta, is this a fair trial?
Right, so let's pull it. Of course, it's a fair trial.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
waltz happily inside the fort with my escort.
Right,
My entourage, as I like to think of it.
right.
As we-
As you walk
Okay.
past Grutta, she leans in and whispers, "You do realise I'm not inside the influence of that spell."
Bastard.
As we're going past, I'll say low to her. I suggest that you use the same cleric when you question Commander Portier.
Thank you for that advice. I'd not thought of that.
No need for sarcasm.
Right, as you're ushered in back inside the keep, you hear Gurta call for some guards to bring Commander Portier forth, and that's the last you hear of the proceedings until you're called again about half an hour later. And you escorted out into the courtyard, and
It's on a pike.
no.
No, let him get on with it. Let him get on with it.
And Castellan Grutter informs you that she is now acting commander of Fort Beluarian.
Nice.
Oh,
Command-
hey.
Congratulations on your promotion.
Commander Leah Portier has been found to be guilty of being work in collaboration with the pirates of Jahaka Anchorage for her own personal gain.
Ah, there you go.
I thought it might be the case.
Got it.
So are we free to go?
We have some formalities to attend to, but essentially, Commander Portier will be transported back to Greyhawk, where she will stand trial.
How is she communicating with these pirates? Because I mean, this Jahaka Anchorage is a long way away. Take
Yep.
weeks to get a message back.
Unfortunately, the commander proved somewhat evasive on some topics, but
Same way that you can message people, the folk.
but
My spell is a high level spell.
but her evasiveness only served to confirm her guilt even more. But we shall look into it. No doubt we shall. The wheres and the fours for hows will come to light eventually.
Would you like us to assist? We are extremely good.
No, I
at,
would not like you to
squirreling things
assist. This is the matter for the flying fist, the flaming fist, to resolve.
Okay.
out. I think that's a great name for one of the monks. Flying Fist.
So, it says I would speak to you in private briefly, and then of course you are free to go.
Okay.
There are
my brief self in private. Sorry, what? What was that?
So she once her proceedings are formally ended, everybody disperses, and Grutter asks that you escort her to her office in the bailey of the keep.
Follow them.
Yeah.
Okay, so once there, she goes to the door, checks the corridor, and then closes it. Says, I'm afraid there are some conditions of your attached to your freedom.
You mean our total innocence? Okay, carry on.
Yes, there is. I'm quite aware of that. Unfortunately, I will have to inform you that you are no longer welcome at Fort Beluarian, which is probably for the best. A number of the guards were killed by your own hands, admit it, and they are not to blame for being misled by the ex-commander. So, as you can imagine, there is some distaste for your present, yes, and resentment, as I'm sure.
Okay.
I'm still talking. Thank you very much, little one. So I'm quite sure you can understand that sentiment. There is another matter that will require you to offer some form of compensation, which will be sent to their widows and family members.
I put up my hand quickly. I was going to say the same thing. I was going to ask about the same thing. So I put up my hand. Can I speak, please? Like in school.
He says, very well, go ahead.
Okay, so I was going to raise the exact same matter. I think they need to be compensated. And, this, ex-commander, she has got wealth. So they have to be compensated from, her wealth because she is the one who caused that. That's very simple. Sorted.
Thank you for that. Not that that ever entered my mind at all.
See, ask me. Can you sort everything?
What sort of reparations are you looking at? Just out of interest.
So, I will be looking for reparations from yourselves as well to show some form of willingness, some form of responsibility.
Not to put it bluntly or crudely, but how much?
How much? A donation of 10 gold pieces per casualty.
How
Is
many
fair enough.
casualties will there, Phil?
6.
6. Yeah,
Six.
that's fine. I'm very happy to help this out.
Are we having to pay for the ones we killed, or we're paying like the average for like a group?
You're
group
giving,
rates?
you're donating a percentage of the reparations that are being paid to the families of each of the deceased.
I'll just hand over 6 platinum, Phil.
Okay.
Oh, thank you, Obold. I didn't realize you felt so guilty.
No, he's not. He's acting in behalf of the group. Well done, Obod.
Right. She
Oh,
thanks you for
yeah.
that. Says, if it wasn't for our mutual affiliations, things might not have gone as well, but they would certainly have gone a lot smoother if you'd not been so hot under the collar.
You mean still
Just forget-
suffering from the previous time we were incarcerated and then threatened with further incarceration?
Was that?
Also, you have to understand from our point, we'd already been drugged and then put in prison by the pirates, and then came here to have the exact same thing try to happen.
And
There was no way we were going to react calmly to that.
And we are here on a mission to save the world, and everyone is against us. How would you feel?
And can I also remind you that I was completely unaware of that. Possibly even the commander was unaware of some of the events. Not that that's particularly relevant, but I was trying to resolve this situation.
So,
Without-
Gunther, that's an interesting point. Sorry to interrupt, but I had a long conversation with your priest, Shiloh, and he assured me that all commanders were totally aware of the imminent threat to everyone's immortal souls. So our assumption was that you'd know.
I'm sorry, I'm not. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm talking about the incident with the pirates.
Oh, sorry, Cade and I were talking about our real mission.
Yeah,
which
I'm not.
is
I'm not
to
talking
find-
about that at the moment. I'm talking about the situation.
Okay, yes, all right. Sorry. Do carry on. I apologize. For
So
interrupting.
I understand why you may have reacted, but we were
Group.
completely unaware of any of that.
Mm-hmm.
So to everybody here, you seem to have overreacted.
We'll put it down to a misunderstanding on both sides.
Well,
Well, luckily-
to be fair, it wasn't a misunderstanding. The commander knew exactly what she was doing.
But
She
again,
deliberately
but
set the
again,
situation
yeah,
in motion.
again, that was the commander. Everybody else was unaware of the commander's affiliations.
Yes, no, true, but
That's
we
not our
certainly
fault.
unaware. No, we
I'm
are totally
aware
unaware.
of that, little man.
So I don't understand.
What I'm
why you're
trying to
getting all
point out,
excited.
is the reason for this situation, the current situation. My telling you that you will be banned from the fort is because to everybody else, you are still, to a certain extent, the bad guys.
Okay, so can
yeah,
you
yeah.
change
Yeah,
this
that's fine.
image of us, for
I
those
have-
people?
No,
Kate,
I've
we don't care. We're never coming back to the shuttle as long as the license works. That's fine.
I know that, but I just want to push her.
No, your conscience is too strong, little one. Stick with me. I'll sort that out.
We just
Okay,
go around in circles, so we'll just say, fair enough. We understand.
So
Whatever
I've
was-
already painted the slightly better picture of your personalities, but I can't do any more than that. It's at least word won't be travelling back to back to my superiors in Greyhawk.
Okay.
Well, you should. You should you should inform your superiors in Greyhawk that
On
we helped
to-
you reveal your the what do you call it? The corruption of your commander. and
I'm not
they should be
talking
very
about
thankful.
that. I'm not talking about that.
Oh, sorry, what are you talking about?
I'm talking
So-
about there's been no repercussions of your actions going back to my superiors in Greyhawk. Of course, the commander did is going back to Greyhawk. She's going back to Greyhawk to face trial.
Moving on, you mentioned obviously our mutual friend. I'm assuming you've not been updated on his situation.
I believe Sildar is no more.
Yes, you have been. Then. Just with you mentioning him earlier, I thought you were talking about him in the current tense instead of the past tense.
I was trying to think of a way to subtly make you aware of our shared allegiances.
Is who was the other one that's been encased in the wall?
Can't remember. I know what you mean though.
I can't remember her name.
Yeah.
I want to say Sylvana, but
Yeah.
it's not, is it?
Sylvain.
Sylvain.
Oh, so close.
I'll mention Sylvain as well, and that we've seen how she's ended up.
Yeah, says I've been a little late. It took a while, but I have been appraised of the situation. And to your earlier question, no, a lot of people aren't aware of the full implications of the death curse. Very few are aware that the source is located here in Chult.
Do you have any further information on where it might be?
That I don't, I'm afraid. My that has not been my focus. I'm here to observe the operations of the Flaming Fist on behalf on behalf of the Lord's Watch.
I was going to ask, just out of interest, would she want the information about where the pirates are? So I'm not sure if she's got that from Commander Portier, or has she?
No, she was evasive. So if you could provide that information, I shall pass it on to the relevant authorities.
I have a ballad.
No.
No.
I think
No.
the written a transcription of the actual word for word information as much as you know will suffice. Thank you.
Would you see any issue with us passing the information to the Harbour Master? Because obviously it was a ploy by Commander Portier for us not to give that information to the Harbour Master. But we haven't heard anything bad about the Harbour Master apart from Commander Portier.
That you possess the information. I'll leave that up to you. You can give that information to me, and I can make sure it reaches those who will act on that information responsibly, or you can take that information yourself. I would appreciate it if you also imparted it to me as well, though.
Yeah.
As I will, if for
Harker Bay next to the big waterfall.
for no other reason, it will be required for to make sure the commander's trial is
Evidence.
is conducted
Oh.
properly.
I'll give the information then to her, Phil. I'll write it down for her if she needs it, or if she
Okay.
wants to transcribe it herself.
Right, no, she hands you some parchment and ink, so you can write down as much as you've got. Though, admittedly, it's the information isn't quite maybe quite as accurate as maybe the commander thought it was.
I'll say if you have a map of the coastline, then I could provide maybe a bit more accurate of it.
We don't. The only maps we have are the coast rough maps of the coastline between here and Port Yanzaru.
Oh, right.
Jacqueline puts a big red X on the snout of Ongar and just writes fucking turtles underneath. He didn't do that really, I'm sorry.
So yeah, they haven't got a map with any of that on anyway.
But I'll give him the name anyway, obviously, and everything. I'll give her all the details.
Okay. Okay, so once that's done, she tells you that she will have to have you formally escorted from the fort. So if there's any business that any further business you want to discuss with her while you can, now's the time to do it, because she suspects that it might be quite a while, if at all, that you speak again.
Is there any way to get in touch with the guides on here?
Sorry?
Is there any way to get in touch with the guides on here from Nianzuru? Because there were a couple of guides that we were considering hiring
We
when we
just-
put out an expedition into Chult.
I think we're below that now.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. I think that will be out of the question now. I'm afraid. I've done the best I can for you.
Let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Appreciated. Goodbye.
I'm afraid if you require a guide, you'll have to hire one from Port Yanzuru.
Cool. So if we run into one of your patrols later, I assume we waive the license and they leave us alone.
That is how it should work. Yes.
And if they don't leave us alone, we get to kick their asses. Yes.
I would request that you try and avoid a situation like that. But and if you do encounter any patrols that are not following their orders, that you get word to me, and I shall resolve that situation in the appropriate manner.
Okay. If any of your soldiers return from the jungle with an F carved on their buttock, they probably tangled us.
Maybe we should leave him some money just in case.
Like pre-put down payment for future. No. For Fuchs, like, okay, thank you. I can't think of anything else to ask since you don't want to listen to my ballad. I'm quite put out. I
Don't
would
want to
like
listen to
get
your
back
ballad.
and I want to go back to the boat now. Thank you.
If there is a chance that I catch sight of the druid with the Vegeman, then I want to just try and grab him over to us because I'd really like to bring him with. But if it's not, it's no go. If he's disgusted by his behaviour and actions, then that's fine.
So you're pretty much like you don't really get the
Okay.
opportunity because you're kind of escorted. So Grutter asks that you you play along and you essentially escorted by guards and Grutter out of the fort, out the main gates, and they stand wait for you to wait and watch while you sort of head off back down the road towards the landing to the beach.
Do we have the permit?
Yes, you still have the
Yes.
permit. Yes.
Very good point. Yeah.
Is it in your pouch?
All right, cool. Just to make sure, we are not fucked off.
Fuchs
Just-
starts whistling and says, "That went way better than I expected."
Hail Mary.
I
if
shrugged my
if-
shoulders. Sorry, I shrugged my shoulders. Whatever. Shitty place. Never come back again.
Hail Mary, if Druid Man and Veggie Man want a job, tackling will pay for him on his own. They'll find us in Port Andrew. And then that's it, gone.
Okay.
The ship is still here at this time, isn't it?
We've paid for it, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it tomorrow? It's
Don't
Yeah,
know what time
Tomorrow
is,
would
yeah.
be out of time tomorrow. Yeah. So you head off down the road, and eventually within a few hours you find yourselves back at the beach with the brazen Pegasus sat about a quarter mile off the beach. There's some flaming fist guards stood about doing various chores at the buildings.
have they left one of the crew on the shore at all to signal to the ship?
No, there's no crew on the shore. No.
Oh, how are we supposed to signal the ship then?
How rough is the sea?
How rough is the sea? So, no, I'm looking at that for. Okay, so there's a little. It's raining a little bit, but the sea's relatively calm. There's plenty of. There's several rowboats moored at the on the beach.
There's someone we can hire to row us out.
There's a few, like I said, a few flaming fist guards about.
I say, hey gentlemen, you willing to row us out to the Brazen Pegasus for some coin?
Right, two that you talk to, like, look at each other, like, yeah, sure.
What's the cost?
Right, they look at each other again and look a bit flustered.
You guys are not inspiring me with confidence, gentlemen. Are these not your boats?
Yeah. These are the boats. Yeah, they belong to the Flaming Fist.
Can I insight check them? Do they? They just seem to be reacting very strangely from what I expected.
You can do, I suppose.
I mean, I totally expected them to be either not our boats, mate, or okay. 26.
Okay. Right. Well, no, they don't seem to be lying now. In fact, you can see the Flaming Fist emblem, sort of like
Branded.
branded into the wood. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Well, what's the cost to row us out then to our boat?
Right. They look at each other. Silver piece a head.
I don't know. Is this like the going rate, or does that sound steep?
Just
I think this is just give him a gold. Call it a day.
Yeah.
I'll give him a gold. I'll give him a gold.
Gold piece.
I just wanna get on
Gold
this-
piece. There
I
you
wanna
go,
get on this big
gentlemen.
ship. Thanks a lot. Thanks for your time. Let's go with this fucking rock.
Right. They like look at it for a minute, and then take it. Thank you very much. And then they both rush over and start shoving out one of the rowboats.
Awesome. We
Okay.
all hop
good.
in.
Can we ask
You're
them about
hopping in, man.
while we're going across the ship? Can we just ask them about what's going on the island and how they feel about what's just happened? Just completely.
Probably don't know.
I think everybody knows.
I would not discuss it with the guards at the moment, to be honest. One might not
How
be
they
aware,
feel about. I'm trying to get the sentiment. How
No,
they
I've-
feel towards us.
Yeah, that's why I wouldn't discuss it. And I'm saying this out of character, Phil.
Yeah.
Because if we discuss it, they may not be aware of it, and then they might be aware that they want to just throw us overboard instead for attacking the mates.
Then they're going to end up with a bear on a rowboat. And none of us are going to fit on.
So I'd leave it. I'd just leave
no.
that.
I appreciate what you're saying. I'm sorry. I'm too big for my boots. Let's just get back on big ship.
Unless your bear knows how to row a boat, I wouldn't do it.
He does.
So
He's a good bear.
the two Flaming Fist guards cheerfully row you across to the Pegasus, and wish you a good day as you disembark and clamber aboard the ship and begin rowing back. You can't help but notice that they're like giggling a bit to themselves.
Why are they giggling?
Who knows?
Probably free. It was probably free passage. But you never know. I'm glad I could make somebody happy today, until they find out their friends all died back at the fort.
They find out I've poisoned the gold, and they're all going to die.
It's lead.
Right, Captain Light and Dark appears at your kneecap.
Swift and dark.
Swift and Dark. I don't know why I call it Light and Dark. Pint of Guinness. He says, "There, you're looking a little bit worse the wear."
Yes, we
Rough night.
yeah.
Nothing
rough note.
unusual. Nothing unusual for us.
Oh, not rough morning.
Add to character. Add to
Are you
character.
guys in?
Ackland did
sorry,
not take a hit, so he's fine. He's like whatever.
Are there people injured?
I don't think so.
I'm missing a little bit, but I just need a good night's sleep. I'll be alright.
I'm slightly injured.
I didn't get touched at all, even in bear form. 4 before. Anyway, sorry. Carry on.
I'll do a cure on the person wounded the most.
Okay, so the captain just shrugs. Whatever. Let's keep it to yourselves. Right, and he turns around and shouts to the first mate to get the ship underway.
Nice.
Within half an hour, you're leaving Fort Beluarian landing behind.
By the end of the trip, Fafuk hopes to have composed an additional couple of stanzas to his tale of being captured by the pirates and his heroic escape, and then tacks on the story about how they also revealed the devious machinations of the commander of the Beluarian fort. I mean, Captain Swift and Dark may be earwigging to the composition. It'd probably inform him all he needs to know.
How long have we been over there? Has it been 1 day or 2?
Two, I think.
We stayed overnight one night.
So, just out of character, tackling is still hot shit in Port Nyanzaro.
Yes. Was it 3 days of? Was it 3 days of?
No, I got
A week, 7 days.
Yeah,
that was
up
not
until-
in the original contract, but I'll
Up until the next
you.
race.
You, me, House of Kaya's Repose, all night party.
Oh.
Theme music. How you like me now? Just walking, strutting around.
Let's see. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Obviously, we're pestering Tackling with lots of questions about his new
3
bear friends.
hours. 1, 2.
Can we
3,
ride you?
4,
Yes, if you want.
5, 6.
Awesome. You're not gonna like rip my leg off.
No, not at
7
all.
hours.
Okay.
And
This
can
is,
can Kate ride you when
do-
you are
do you
not
want-
in bear form?
Do you want to have this conversation now?
Yeah,
Well,
Well, we're on the boat with nothing to do.
yeah.
it's there was a druid god that I've got in mind. Basically, a druid god which I've not got in writing yet, bestowed upon me the power to turn into bear form.
Buddy,
Pardon? Obadiah, yeah.
buddy, the fat bastard.
How dare you? Fight me, monk. It's like bear god you're talking about. Yeah, he bestowed upon me the power to turn into a bear. I'm not sure if it extends any further. It's yet to be tested. However, the bear form feels pretty good. It's good to be a monk. It's good to be a druid.
So 8 hours. 10, 11 hours. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so it's oh, piss off, stupid thing. It's not the oh God, just a minute. Change the date. Shouldn't have done that.
Just throwing kids in the bed. Right. So Fafuk now has a composition. He hasn't quite. I think it was way down in Jahaka Bay. I was ripping off the Beach Boys song. I think it was way down Kokomo. What's that song called?
No idea. So it's almost midnight when the ship pulls into the harbour at Port Yanzaru.
We got lodgings for a while in the inn, though, didn't we? We paid up for a bit.
Well, you'll get to sleep there for free.
I've not made arrangements though, have I? So I'm
No.
not gonna.
Pardon me.
Cool. Back into the Thundering Lizard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you make your way to the Thundering Lizard, but the doors are locked, and
Oh, bugger.
the doors are locked,
Okay.
and they all but the dimmest lights are out.
What about the House of Repose? Can we see if there's any lights? If I just put my head right corner, are they still open?
Well, you have to go further. You can't just put your head around the corner. But no, the House of Repose is closed, is shut up as well.
Yeah, it's reposed.
Yeah.
Hmm.
We sleep overnight on the ship.
Don't know.
Are there any? Is there a district of red in this vicinity?
A what?
Is there a
Red light
Yeah,
district.
the old city outside the walls, where we got invited to that card game.
I'd suggest going back to the ship. It's closer. And since we've potentially got assassins after us, it'd be harder for them to try and get us on a ship than it would be for wandering through the streets after midnight.
Well, perhaps our powerful diminutive wizard could cast as a Leoman's tiny hut.
Or we could.
I'm not sure that would go down well with the city guards when they're on the patrols when they suddenly come across a magical little hut in the middle of the street.
Yeah, what are they going to do about it? Poke, poke,
Or we
poke.
could try and knock Wakanga up. And just say,
No.
really sorry.
I think the best option is going to be the ship.
Okay, that's what you want to do.
Or we don't want to head to the red light district, pay some friendly people, and just party the night away.
We hell.
No.
Hey, I can cast remove curse and cure disease. We're all good.
Is it directional? Can you point at a specific place? No, let's stay together. There is people trying to kill us.
Go back to the ship then, Phil, and have a word and see if they'll allow us to sleep the rest of the night on there.
Right, so the captain is a little bit reluctant at first, but it's like says, well, technically, you still you'd hired the use of the ship till tomorrow, so in the end he relents.
Nice one.
Oh,
Well,
thank
thank
you,
you.
Captain.
Thank
Swift
you.
and Dark.
Of course,
That's all right,
there's no cabins or anything. Just sleep. It's like just sleeping under lean tos up on the deck.
Yeah,
It's
that's
not-
fine.
It's
Good.
not 10 foot across. We can't cast Leoman's tiny hut in the boat, can we?
No.
Just get the bedroll out and find a place to sleep then.
Okay. Very well. Right. So you're woken early the next morning, which is probably only about 6 hours later, by the captain and the first mate, who shoo you off the ship while you're still half asleep, as they tell you that they've got other business to attend to.
Well, thank them for
Rude.
letting us stay. And leave them, Phil.
Thank you for your services.
Right. He wishes you luck and sees you on your way.
I immortalize him in one of my ballads, of course.
So What are you doing now?
Well,
Should we update?
Hang on.
What's the face? Kemi. That Commander Portier was in league with the pirates.
No, I don't think we're welcome at the moment.
I think we should go talk to the harbour master and tell him. Curry some favour.
He might be in with pirates as well.
Yeah, we still don't know. Even though
That
everyone
is
said
true.
that he's trustworthy,
I wouldn't trust him.
they said that the Flaming Fist were trustworthy, and it turned out they got a snake in the midst.
That is true. So, well, we know where to go. So, my suggestion is we hire a guide, get them to advise on what we need to kit up, and then we, depending on what we want to be doing, which I think is finding the Oracle first, because Oracle knows exactly where the lost city of Omu is. We go there first, find out exactly where it is, and then we can plan our route from there. What do you guys think?
I was thinking we were going to ask about, see if we can track down that statue
Oh yeah.
while we're here.
remembered. Well remembered. Let's do that first, and then find a guide at the same time. What do you guys think?
Yes. The other thing I'd mention is that I do have a date with one of the merchant lords, whichever one you choose. I was going to go with the assassin guy. Hopefully, the poison one who could tell us if I'm actually poisoned by these stupid snakes.
It's not a bad shout.
But other than that, I've got nothing else to do in Nyanzuru other than walk around like I own the place.
The great big key over your shoulder.
On my belt, dropping down.
Well, let's go to the Grand Souk, see if we can track down that obsidian statue, and track down the guide. You can take us to Naga, who's wise and generous, who protects the ruins alongside the river Tath, which is after the Kahakla Gorge.
Yeah, if we can, we
So
should try and find some more information about them.
Yeah, and so basically we need to go down the river Soshan Tar, past Camp Righteous, Camp Vengeance, and further into the interior. That's probably going to take us to the area we need to be in. So we hopefully get a guide that can take us to the Naga, who's the Oracle, basically. Right, so I suppose we head to the Souk. Hold first, see if we can find the statue, set out some feelers for information.
Okay, so by the time you reach the Grand Souk, it's already loud and busy. There's traders from all over, not just Port Yanzuru, that have got stalls. Stalls here. There's as you've seen before, they sell like rare timber and spices, medicine concocted from jungle plants, dinosaur skulls and claws, iron, tiger pelts, carved ivory, tribal masks, and other like sort of trinkets, like tribal handiwork, and feathers and from colourful birds and tropical fruit, monkeys, dinosaur, rare meat, and all sorts of other luxuries.
Oh, I've
Amazing.
actually got 5 agates. I don't know how you say that.
Agates.
Yeah,
Agates.
agates. I got 5 of them that we need to cash in and split the money from.
So don't forget you can actually trade with gems as well as coins. Of course, the advantage of coins is it's got an exact value on it.
Yeah, that we can take elsewhere.
Right.
Well, it's either we sell these and split the money, or I give you each an agate piece.
Agate. No, I'll just keep them. If we need them to bribe or pay something, then we'll just use them as is. Yeah, so we start asking about,
Okay.
who's likely to handle this kind of item sale. Are there people who specialize in unusual Yuan-Ti type iconography? Is that the word, iconography?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's stalls that sell all kinds of things, sort of like I say, lots of like native things taken from created by native tribes within the jungle and other places. So all that kind is the perfect place to look for something like that. So you make your way through the noisy, jostling, aroma-rich circus that is the bazaar. Guards are numerous here, and you see little to no urchins.
Oh,
Which are probably a result of the observant guards. There are a number of street performers, and there's some like cat people that like performing minstrels walking up and down the aisles, which adds to the cacophony of noise. You can make a what you're doing. You're all splitting up, or you're going as a group, or what you're doing.
I'd say go as a group. We
Yes,
don't want to split up at the minute.
we are not splitting.
Okay. So if you want to nominate somebody to make a persuade roll.
persuade.
Ain't
Rolled.
not me.
I'll just do an insight check instead. It'll be me. I have a +1 unless anyone's got a +2 on charisma.
No.
Me.
Have you got a +2 on charisma?
Yeah. So shall I?
Yeah, go for it.
Let the person met Nugget do the talking.
Oh,
Or not.
like 22.
I think I done well. Usual kid style. What? Who? Me?
Okay, so your first inquiries yield nothing, but you can continue if you. So you waste pass an hour.
After seeing Cade's performance, I suggest he goes. Maybe he and some of the heavies should go talk to people, and me and one of the heavies should go talk to other people. Split our
Agree.
efforts.
Split up.
But we'll
Okay.
meet back at the entrance to the Grand Souk in like an hour. Compare
Mhm.
notes. What do you
All
guys
right.
think?
Yeah. Good idea. Let's do it.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, who's with who then? Before you start rolling, I'm going to disregard that roll. Luckily for you.
I don't know, me and Taklin.
Yep.
And Cade and the monks.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Cool.
Okay, so who's going to be doing the talking between Tackling and Fafouk?
Not
think
tackling.
So Fafouk. And who's going to be doing the talking between the halfling and the monks?
Kid.
Now we know where the dump stats are.
Hang on. What are we talking about?
Persuasion rolls. Who's
Persuade
doing
rolls.
Persuasion rolls.
I know, but what's the topic I need to talk about?
The obsidian statue.
Yeah, you're looking for rare for well. I'm not going to tell you.
We're looking for obsidian statues,
Yeah. I got-
ideally made by Yuan-Ti or found in Yuan-Ti.
A description
like
of what it looks like might be far better than saying we're looking for statues by an evil race of lizard people.
So we are just asking about them. We're not trying to buy or anything.
Do we have a description of the statue?
We
Yeah,
do.
yes,
Okay.
that's what I'm
okay, we
saying.
need-
Like a
we should definitely use that.
foot tall snake statue carved out of obsidian.
Is it in the notes?
Yeah, I think so.
It was a long time ago, yeah.
It'll be in Chult notes 1, 2, or 3. possibly one.
So we can try to find out if anyone's seen these statues. Is that right?
Yeah.
Bill,
Okay. Fair enough. What?
Bill, add character. How do I cash in this talk to any Merchant Prince token?
A good question. Well, you'd have to approach the merchant princes. They have their council meetings, so you might be able to gain access to that. Or probably the easiest way will be to talk to Wakanga.
Okay. The Merchant Prince meetings, are they daily or?
No.
Okay. Then yeah, sure. We need to swing by Wakanga at some point. Then
I've sent you a whisper as well, Phil.
Oh. On what?
Foundry.
Oh. All right. Okay. Didn't come up as a whisper. Right. So, if who wants to roll first? Cade, do you want to make your persuasion roll then?
Yeah, please. Is it gonna be any better? Not bad, not bad.
And one for Fafuk as well.
Yeah, sorry, in my notes I just found it just says figure of the snake god. It was probably my shorthand. I didn't take more than that.
Yeah.
Okay.
nice.
Right. So you all meet.
Yeah, I was supposed to just go to Lee, but it went to you as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the first one might have been public. Right. So you all meet up again, and both with the same information. The one of the traders gave you the name of another merchant at the market.
Okay, perfect.
Who trades in that kind of that kind of artifacts and things, not not magical artifacts. Before anybody starts asking him for magical artifacts.
Yes, I suppose we sort of try and track them down and try and have a conversation.
Okay. Right. So what?
Sorry, could we recruit any of the local street kids to do some of this legwork for us? Because we had one running around.
There aren't any in the souk. They're kept out by the guards.
But we had one running around for us, didn't we? That was following us around. That's all I'm thinking.
Yeah, that was outside.
Okay.
Outside the souk.
And they were employed by Madison.
No, don't get me wrong. It's a good idea. It's just people could say in the souk. There were no street urchins whatsoever.
Let's see. Stupid things. One moment. Okay, so the merchant you're looking for is called Arval, and you find his stall's quite easy to find in the market, as it sells, as you've been told, it sells quite distinctive sort of artifacts that have been recovered from the jungle. Sort of old carvings and like knives and all kinds of things, little statuettes.
Sounds like a good place to start.
Sounds like me in real life could spend many hours in there. Now we go look for Arval.
Yep. So yeah, you're there. You're there. That's what I mean.
We
See what he's got then.
Well, he's got all manner of things. Like I say, he's got sort of tribal masks, sort of knives made from various things.
But has he got this statue? Is it out on display or?
Has it got this statue? So is you spot like a few like sculptures and statuettes that sort of snakes or snake-like creatures, but none that fit the description of the one that you're looking for.
Can't be too easy. We try and catch his attention.
Right, he's already watching you. Says, is there anything I can interest you in?
Yes, there is, as a matter of fact. We were told you may have procured a small obsidian snake statue from a turtle who, quite unusually, was wearing some crystal lens goggles about a year ago. And
Buy a lot of things from a lot of people, and that's a long time ago.
there's only one turtle with crystal lenses, as far as we're aware. Anyway, we tracked her down. Her name's EL. Very nice turtle. Works as a guide at Fort Beluarian. And we were curious if you maybe could tell us where the statue was sold onto. If you still don't have it in your inventory, we'd be very interested in procuring it.
Says, well, I suppose I could check through my records and check from my accounts to see if I could see if I had something like that and who I might have sold it to.
That would be immensely helpful. And the current champion of the dinosaur races, Tacklin, would be immensely grateful for all of your help.
Slip him a gold just to make sure he's.
And I'm sure Tacklin, when he meets with the merchant princess later, would be happy to name drop you as a very helpful merchant.
As the man about town.
I goes, oh yes, that's all very well, but he snatches the gold out of your hands. And, right, I'll just have a look.
There's no need to snatch.
You saying that to him?
Yeah. Plenty more where that came from if you want, young.
What's that? Sorry.
There's plenty more where that came from.
No need to snatch. I really want. I'm poisoned. I really want this statue back.
Right. He looks you over and starts sort of ducks down behind the counter and pulls out a couple of volumes and starts flicking through them. Says, it could be quite time consuming.
More time consuming than one GP?
Well, my time is precious. Perhaps it might take 2 or 3 more.
Can I make an intimidation check?
Well, no, Tacklin, you basically said.
Trying to stop taking piss.
No, but you basically said there's plenty of gold where that came from. I mean, what's the guy gonna do?
He can try. It's fine. I'm literally as Tacklin feels, he's the king of Port Nyanzaru. This guy's going to try taking advantage. Then he can try.
Bill.
Well.
Land over 2 gold.
Okay.
Fafuk almost collapses in shock. Guy handing over gold without so much as a word uttered.
Right.
It's not about the money.
Fafuk's just witnessed a miracle. You have to give him a moment.
Right. He takes the money from the monk and ducks back down and here we are.
Wow.
Paying a gold per second. Then that's quite a good rate.
Like Bitcoin.
I says I don't know why it didn't come to me straight away.
Yeah, I bet it don't-
I sold this to the merchant prince Wakanga Otamu.
What? Oh, for real?
Just,
Is this
just
is
out
this
of
something-
interest, how long ago?
About a year ago. I went almost sold it almost straight away
Well, thank you most kindly
For a-
your
for a princely sum as well.
Mm.
He grins, revealing his some gold teeth.
You're just basically giving him some new teeth. Then.
Is there I mean, is it likely any of the stuff's magical? Would there be an opportunity for food to cast detect magic to see if any of this is?
You'll not be able to. It's doubtful you'll get away with casting a spell inside the suit. No, I mean if you
Yeah.
cast it outside the suit, maybe.
No, fair dues.
Hey.
I'm not going to take the risk. Okay. Well, I suppose we know where we need to go to next. Thank you most kindly, and we hope you have a lovely day.
Okay.
Any other? Sorry, I'm assuming we don't have any other questions.
No.
So, do you want to head to Wakanga and then sort out a guide?
Yes, please.
Right. I suppose we make our slow way towards Wakanga's pad.
Okay. Okay, right. It's still early morning when you arrive at Wakanga's villa, and it's a little more than a formality getting admittance to the villa. And Wakanga meets you in one of his gardens. Says, "Greetings, my friends. So, are you ready to set forth into the jungle at last? It seems you lack the original urgency you came to me with."
Yeah, we're just about ready.
Good. Then there are some matters I wish to discuss with you,
Okay. we
and
understand.
a favour I would ask.
Pray
Right.
tell.
If you'll bear with me a moment, I just need to go and fetch something. And he calls for some servants to bring refreshments while he disappears.
I'll not touch the refreshments if you'll.
Neither me. Thank you.
Oh
Happen
dear.
well.
For Fuchs, like, yeah, screw it. As a big pull of the wine. Oh, by the way, the wine bottle he stole from the commander. He ditched. He
Right.
didn't keep the wine,
Okay.
just in case.
Okay. So Wakanga returns just a few minutes later. Says he's carrying something wrapped in some yellow silk. He sits himself down and puts it on his lap. Says, "So, my friends, what can I do for you today?"
So, we're looking for an object.
An object? What particular? And how can I help you with that?
It's an obsidian statuette. I think it's from a Yuan-Ti temple.
Right. He nods. And how can I help you? What?
Well, we've been speaking to one of the traders in the market. And he told us you bought it some time ago.
You'll have to be more specific. I buy many things.
I'll give him a description of what it is then.
Right, as he listens, he'll sort of recognition. You see the recognition light sort of dawn on his face. So, oh yes, 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 I have that. A little nice little curiosity. What?
Toilet downstairs. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, he puts his toilet rolls on it. Um, so, what interest is that to you?
I think it's Tackling's interest really.
Yeah, I'll just put my hand up and just say, it's as you've said, it's a curiosity in the form of me making agreements with third parties, and long story short, I'd really like that.
It's right. As you, when you put your you said you were putting your hand up, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
Yeah. As you put your hand up and your sleeve drops down. It says that's a Yantai mark on your arm.
It bit me in leg. It bit me in arm.
It were on your arm. It were on your arm, not your leg.
Arm, you held your arm out and it bit you in the arm.
Yeah, I'm just being a dick. Sure. Yep, 2 puncture wounds in my wrist. Point it at and just say, talking snake bit me. We told him we'd bring the statue back in exchange for information. Do you have the statue, please?
I do. I would be somewhat reluctant to allow you to return it to a Yantai temple.
We were not under the impression it was a Yantai temple at the time. We were short of information, and we were really pressed for leads, as I recall. And our character, being the dwarf that was resilient to poison, that's why I threw my sen into the bullet, bodyguard style, and just took it. So, yeah.
I was going to say that it's in character. I'll say it's worthwhile pointing out that the temple is all but dead. It has no worshippers. It's all but forgotten on the snout of Omgar.
Ooh, you'll have to. It's one of you. Well, it's probably going to have to be either Tackling or Obold can try and persuade Wakanga.
A character who's got a better chance.
Can we assist, sort of as part of the discussion, so he gets at least advantage?
If you can come up with some good reason why I should have let you assist.
Oh, hang on. I just need to check something.
If you can come up with a good argument for why that would assist him.
As I recall, at the time, our character, we were shit out of luck, and these talking snakes offered us a way out of the island.
Well, no, not quite. They were offering to give us valuable information about the location of what we sought.
Mm-hmm.
If we recovered the statue, they also gave us the teleportation pattern in their temple, so that
them.
Yeah, and how to use it should we find it. So we could find a Yuan-Ti temple or a circle, go to the temple, drop off the statue, and then come back to the starting temple of where we were with valuable information. Sorry.
I'll use my inspiration point, Phil.
Oh.
Give myself advantage.
Okay.
Although it doesn't seem to. Let me just refresh my character sheet because it's not allowing me to roll anything.
Pardon me.
Again.
Inspiration.
Oh,
Wow.
both, right. The exact same roll
Wow.
both times.
Wow.
Oh dear.
Ugh,
That's
what a
somewhat,
waste of an inspiration point.
that's somewhat disappointing. um, yeah, he's says it may be that that the temple is asleep, but what's to say this that the return of this statue won't reawaken it?
Well, they've been asleep for quite a long time before someone stole the statue and brought it up to Port Nyanzaru.
And as I'd said to you, as we discussed previously, all word of the Yantai has been word of any Yantai presence has been absent for decades, and yet with your arrival in Yanzaru, it seems you were targeted by one of their kind anyway.
Yeah, that's what we couldn't work out. We don't know why.
We can't really promise that.
Shall we park this discussion and come back to it once we've finished the Soulmonger mission, unless circumstances start overtaking Taklin? Because I mean, does Wakanga have any options on how to deal with this bite from the Yuanti snake things? Or because as far as we're aware, the only option that Taklin has to survive this particular curse is to return the statue.
The thing is, Wakanga's the first person to notice it and turn around and say, "Ooh, that's the Yuanti bite." So, what does he know about it, Phil?
The emotions just come over to him, and so he can examine it.
I give him a wrist and let him examine it fully.
Okay, right. He looks it over, and he takes then he takes some materials from his pocket, and he casts a spell.
What's the spell?
You can make an Arcana check if you want.
Can I do a slot, please?
So yes, it's an Arcana check. So it's at disadvantage because it's an arcane spell, so it'll be disadvantage too for Fook. But yeah, Cade, you can make a normal one.
It's not reacting. Screen's not reacting. Come on. Oh, there we go. 8.
23.
8. No, Fook's got no idea.
I think Kid's already checked.
Yeah, he has.
Does Kid know?
He will do when I send him a message
Okay. On which platform?
on Foundry.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Okay, right. So he does this and then examines your arm a little more and says, "There's no curse. There's no poison.
You've been set up.
So
You-
what does the mark?
you just-
do?
You've just been marked by the Yantai. I wouldn't. It's not. It's not one that'll bring you any boon. That's for sure."
Well, at least we know he's not being poisoned then.
Perhaps perhaps poison might be better.
Wow.
Sorry, I missed that. I was just putting dog to bed. What happened? Am I dead or not?
No, it said you're not poisoned. You've just
Oh,
been
cool.
marked.
Marked.
Yeah, marked by the anti.
That's worse.
So it's an ancient marking that designates one as for want of a better word, a slave to the anti.
Oh,
Ooh.
Yeah, use that word.
It's like a branding mark.
Interesting. Are there any sort of actual effects? I mean, I couldn't find any as a cleric, but are there any sort of negative effects to being marked this way?
Um,
Apart
if
from the connotations.
if you're referring to any sort of mystical or magical effects, no. The social implications are probably far worse.
Is it possible to cut it out?
I'm not sure. I've never actually encountered one in person. I mean, it's you could certainly you could possibly try, I suppose.
Or cover it with a tattoo or something?
Interesting.
Yeah, get a tattoo to cover it.
But I wouldn't let it be common knowledge that you've been marked in such a way. I would keep it hidden.
Hmm. That's good advice then. At least we know it's nothing malignant for now.
Can I insight check him? Is he telling the truth?
If you want.
Yeah, I like to, please.
Right, you Cade wanders off to look at a butterfly.
Walks into a wall.
Why is that?
Rolled a 1.
Oh, no,
But it's got,
I cannot roll a one. I'm a halfling.
yeah, he's got that halfling look on it,
All
so
right.
you'll have.
Oh, it rolled. It rolled it off.
I rolled a
Oh, it
14.
rolled it off. Yeah, as far as you know. Yeah, as far as you know, he's telling the truth. You don't see any reason why not.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Okay. Cool. So that's one pressure off. At least I'm not going to drop dead. But we might be being followed by one tie, Yantai, which would explain
it's, uh,
why that one threw a big boulder at me at middle of city.
So coming off that subject, then, what's the object that he's brought for the favour?
Right, he yeah, and he unwraps this bun of this silk, this piece of silk that's wrapped around this object, revealing a tattered and water damaged book. Says this is another little trinket I picked up from the market. It was brought out of the jungle about 15 years ago. It appears to be a wizard's journal, and it describes their explorations of various places in Chult, but unfortunately not in enough detail to provide any specific exact locations. The author, however, who unfortunately doesn't ever state his name or her name, does make many mentions of of his only travelling companion, a so-called shield guardian by they called Vaughn.
Mhm.
I'm not sure if you're familiar. If you're not familiar, a shield guardian is a mechanical construct.
All right.
But like a statue of metal.
So, something like that. So not something along the lines of a magical golem, but far more intricate, far more refined.
Okay, and what are we supposed to do if we find this thing?
It says, I would like you to locate and recover this shield guardian.
And what are we supposed to do with it? Bring it back to you?
Yes, that is what I would do. That is why I would ask you to recover it. Yes,
Mhm.
return it to me.
And what is it? What you are offering in return?
In return, I shall give you a spell book.
Of what?
With maybe well, let's see, about 15 spells in it.
Mm-hmm. It sounds interesting. And would you be able to name the level of these spells as well?
I
I
can't.
might know them, and it's a
So
blind
I
business this way.
so I'm not sure which exact spell book it would be at the moment. I have several in my vaults. But
Ah,
the
okay.
but the
Okay, but
but I can tell you that
I got it.
I can tell you that the spells would range from first level all the way to all the way to 6.
Okay. Jade is very, very interested in this deal. You can
Now
see his little eyes lighting up.
now this might not be as straightforward as it not that it seems particularly straightforward, but it says it might not be quite straightforward. The journal contains a picture of a control amulet, but unfortunately there are no clues to the amulet's current whereabouts.
Hmm. So you think with this amulet you can control the construct? Is
Yes,
that
I know for a fact that is how it works.
Mhm. So we
So
need the amulet.
if you
Without
so
it,
if
we won't. Correct.
so if you can find this control amulet and return it and the shield guardian to me, the spellbook is yours.
Okay, I ask him, do you know the spell locate object?
It does not work.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, I look to my companions. What do you think of this? Is this something worth doing for you?
I mean, if we stumble across it, there's no skin off our nose if we are able to do it. I mean, Fafuk thinks the chances are slim that we'll stumble across this thing in this massive jungle, but if we do, fine.
And do you have a description of this amulet, this control amulet?
Yeah, there's a picture of it in the journal, which he's prepared to give you if you agree to do it.
Yeah, Kid is nodding his head very quickly. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's all fine.
Yeah. It says well, what the journal does provide is from what I've been able to determine, I've, a location, the locate. What the hell is that? The location of the shield guardian, or as best I can determine. If you if you have Syndra's map,
Yeah.
I can mark it on for you.
Please do so.
Please.
Okay, so he takes a map and he marks on that location, which will now be available on the map when you access it later.
Okay.
Later.
Yeah, when you're doing the when you're actually doing the exploring bit, and you'll be on the map.
Cool. No problems. right then. Does it incentivize us to go towards the Naga Oracle, just as a general feel, or does it incentivize us to go elsewhere first?
So it is. It's several days north of Camp Vengeance.
North of Cap Vengeance.
That's on the way down to Umbala.
Yeah, cool. Okay. Okay. That work. We can work with that.
Okay, I select that.
So
Ah, there we go.
was there anything else that Wakanda wanted to impart to us before we start girding our loins? I mean, are you guys comfortable talking about our plans with him? I don't see any reason why not.
Yeah, I think.
Well, we pull out the map and we talk through all the rumors that we've sort of tracked down and cross-checked, and I talk about this Naga that is guardian of a ruined city west of Mbala, which we believe we can reach if we go down the Soshan Star River past these two camps, and that seems to put us in the territory of where this thing may be. The Naga in this ruined city is apparently able to give us a direct bead on where the lost city of Omu is. And also we believe that once we have that, we will then have a clear picture of where we need to go next. And if the amulet turns up in any part of our travels around here, then if we can locate the golem, the shield guardian on the way towards the ruined city, then at least we'll know. Once we have that amulet, if we find it, we'll know where to return to head back to Port Nyanzaru. So it all kind of works, which is nice. Does he see any flaws in our plan? Does he have any suggestions?
It doesn't. The only suggestion he has is that he offers as an incentive to make the recovery of Vaughn a higher priority. He offers to sell you the statuette.
Wow,
For how much?
really pushing the boat out there.
for what he paid for it,
Which was
50 gold.
Jacqueline will pay for it, but he also wants introduction with Jabal as part of his key to the city of Nyanzaru stuff.
Jabal.
Yeah,
Says
Jabal.
that can be arranged. Says I was going. That can be arranged. I was going to ask you if you had secured yourselves a guide yet.
Nope.
No, we were just about to go shopping for guides that could take us, who knew that area well and had the best chance of getting us to the Naga Oracle.
Yeah,
So-
Jabal would be the best person to speak to for that information anyway.
I can speak to Jabal and arrange for you to meet with all the guides that are presently in Yanzaru,
Yeah, all of them, please.
and then you can interview them and select from amongst them. You can select one that best suits your needs.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
That would be excellent.
Very well. I
So-
shall if
We'll buy the
is-
statue as well, Phil.
yeah. Okay, right.
I'll hold that since the yuan tie seems to be pinged on me anyway.
Okay, right. So he goes and fetches the statue, returns with it, and removes a toilet roll as he hands it to you. And he hands it to you, and you take it from him. As you take it, the mark on your sort of on your forearm suddenly shifts, and it wraps. Instead of it being like twined along the length of your forearm, it wraps and coils around your wrist. And I'm like, oh,
That's not creepy. That's not creepy at all.
says, like, oh, that is interesting.
Why is
Oh,
that
Tacklin,
interesting?
that's pretty ominous, buddy. Pretty ominous.
I couldn't. It didn't radiate any source of magic.
That's what I said, and I cast remove curse, identify, detect magic, and nothing.
Very interesting.
No, at least we got our hands on the statue. Are you sure you don't want us to chip in there, Tacklin?
No, I'm good.
So, tackling, you can make an insight check.
You
I've
now
added
are
a-
controlled.
I've added something into the character journal, into the player journal, Phil.
Oh, all right. So I need to reauthorize it, do I?
Yeah, so that's serpent mounted on snout of bomb.
Forget that you even rolled that.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you like me to roll again?
No. I just meant that yeah, that was
Pretty
Good
awful.
enough.
yeah, it
Yes.
was not.
Instantly forgettable.
Yeah. I can't see it. Where's player journal gone now?
What snake?
It's just in the journal entries. There's chapter 1, Port Nyanzaru, and then player journal.
Oh, I'm looking in the wrong place. No. Handouts.
You're looking in chapter 1, Port Nyanzaru.
Yeah.
It's just player journal.
Yeah, that's what we're looking for. Player's map, profiles, Chult notes 1.
It's
Chult.
the bottom one. Serpent mounted on
Oh!
snout of
All right. That would have been all players own it. Very good. There you go. Okay. Right. So Wakanga tells you that he will speak with Jabal at his earliest opportunity and arrange, and he'll send word when he's made arrangements for you to meet with the guides.
We will be at the House of Repose.
Very well.
Which?
Just so he knows.
Or the Thundering Lizard. Best check both.
We'll be at the Thundering Lizard.
No,
Yeah.
no. I've got you guys. Don't worry about it.
No, I'm not going back to the House of Repose.
Okay,
again.
cool. Fine. Don't worry about it.
It's only for the key holder as well.
Yeah, but if I've got a suite, if I've got
Yep.
top deck, who's going to stop me? Anyway,
That's just
yeah,
for one
sure,
day
fine.
anyway.
No, I've got 3 days left on it.
Okay. Is there anything else? Any other business you want to conduct with Wakanga?
Has he heard any? Has there been any update on Sershan?
Not there is aware of. No.
I assume we filled him in on what happened at.
Not as
Fort
yet. You haven't.
Beluarian.
Not yet. Nobody has.
Oh.
Nobody's mentioned it. No.
My apologies. So,
We'll
yes.
give him the information then.
given the cliff notes.
Right. He's very pleased to hear that, and he shall inform Temi, and together they will speak. What's her name?
To the Castellan.
And they will speak both speak to Jessamine.
Oh, Jessamine,
Yeah.
Who's that?
the merchant prince that's in charge of assassins.
Oh, right.
Well, not the assassins themselves, but she sells the sanctions.
Who's the yes
I,
man?
I tell Wakanga I've actually composed quite a good ballad about the whole adventure from start to finish. If you would care to hear it,
No, we'll go.
you got, honestly, guys, it's just like 25 minutes. That's all.
We'll go.
Fine. Fook mutters. Right. Back to the inn and wait for to be sent to meet Jabal and the guides. Yes.
Yep. Okay. Is Tackling going back to the Thundering Lizard, or is he going
No.
return to the House of Repose?
He's gonna just make inquiries at the House of Repose, whilst thrusting the key to the city that's laden on his crotch, just like a Scottish belt, thrusting it at people.
Terrible.
Okay. What inquiries is he making?
I hear that I've got free reign of this establishment. Is this true? And then thrusts.
No, your your bill is paid for by the city.
Wow, it's essentially the same
Wow.
thing.
It's they make you aware of there's some small print in the contract that they have with the city that it's so long as that remains within respectable behaviour.
Okay, then he flips them both the bird and goes back to the Thundering Lizard.
Charge 50 gold pieces for the pigeon.
Per finger.
Yeah.
No. I guess bills are covered, but the fines are not.
The fines are not.
Yeah,
No.
probably that would be in a small print or something.
I think we'll just
I'm,
find out that the House of Repose is highly flammable. I think that's what we'll find out.
I'll let the proprietor of the Thundering Lizard know that things are about to get messy and that everything's on the city. Soz, not soz.
Oh, Fook did not neglected to memorize his party starter spell. It's a shame.
Okay, so what are you doing?
It's still early morning. We've got lots of time to kill, and it's too early to start drinking. So
Did I notice anyone when I was looking out, Phil?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if it's worth it. It's up to you guys because the only proprietor magical armor basically kind of hates our guts, but she gets it from Wakanga, and I've got a shield that turns out does kind of protect you from missile attacks.
Me too.
But
We've
it
both got one.
also makes them come at you. So, I mean, is it worth maybe dropping the shield with him and seeing if he can maybe get rid of the missile attraction part and just leave it with the good part?
I mean, personally, I'm all for keeping it. Just
Well, don't get me wrong, it kind of works because if I'm stood next to Cade,
I think it kind of works. Completely out of character. I think it works for me, maybe not for you. So if you want to mess with your shield, that's fine. But if I've got an exact copy of yours, which I think I have, then I'm happy with what I've got.
Well, maybe we should set ourselves up in the ready room in our suite and toss daggers at each other and see what the shields do. What do you think?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Awesome.
Let's
So the
get
dwarf
to
and
the
the
bottom of
cleric,
this.
the dwarf and the cleric will set each other up on opposite sides of the room with daggers and the shields at the ready. We basically toss stuff at each other to see what our shields do.
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
So
What?
the the dwarf and the cleric are going to be opposite each other across the rooms. And we're gonna ready our shields and toss daggers at each other to see what our shields do.
Okay. How far apart are you standing?
How
10,
far can we
15
get?
feet.
How far apart can we get?
I'm not trying to kill him.
No, I'm not. I'm not saying. I'm not on about that. I'm just asking how far apart you're standing.
As far as we
Ends-
can get. I mean, I
opposite
can
the
throw
ends of the
like
room,
30, we
really.
can throw like 30 foot at least.
Okay.
So I mean, if we've got that kind of space, then we'll just have a go.
Where are you doing this?
Well, in our rooms at the Thundering Lizard.
Right. So it'll be. Maybe 10, 15, about 10 feet apart, if that.
What, 3 meters?
Yeah.
Well, we can give it a go. Do the shields make anything hinky happen with the daggers we're tossing at each other?
Okay. Well, you have to make attack rolls then.
Oh yeah. No worries.
So it's thrown. It's a throw. You're doing it thrown. So that's Dex.
So that's a 15 at tackling. Like, come at me, you little dwarf. Do your worst.
Just a dex throw, yeah?
No,
It's
it's your attack, because you'll be proficient. So it's dex plus your proficiency bonus to attack, not strength. Unless you're throwing a javelin, then you use strength instead.
Give me a dice formula, because I'm not sure what button to press.
So it'll be d20 plus 3 plus your dex. So with you, probably what, 2 or 3?
Plus 1, I think.
Unless the shield works and it was going to miss me and then it hit me instead.
just a second. Sorry. Oh. Okay. So you both hurl daggers at each other. Somebody's kicking up a lot of static again all of a sudden. Hello?
No, I can hear it too. It's not me.
Just a
Got a
second.
printer running next to me.
It
That might be
stopped.
me.
It stopped. Okay, so yeah, tackling hurls his dagger, which just goes completely wide of its intended target. Fafuk hurls his dagger, and sort of mid-flight, it does a U-turn and heads straight back towards him.
Holy crap.
Uh,
We're not expecting that.
Is it possible to watch this spectacle, please?
yes.
Of course, you guys sat opposite ends of the room watching us to have a go at each other.
I would be interested to watch it. This is, quite entertaining. Thank you.
So does a 15 hit an unarmored but have the shield for Fook?
Yes, it does.
Okay, right, yeah. So your own dagger strikes you. Roll for damage.
Didn't it have some damage reduction as well?
Yeah, but first you got to roll 4.
So you take 2 points of damage.
Bastard! Holy shit, this thing's cursed. I'm like, go, have another go. Oh, it's tackling.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, right. He throws a dagger at you. It misses your shield and hits you.
Yeah, do some damage.
What would damage be?
1d4 plus your dex.
5.
Right, so that's 3 then, I assume. Full.
What?
I assume
Sorry,
that's
it's
3 damage. I
it's
assume that's 3 damage.
is it round? I always forget this. So did they change it to round it up or round it down? I always forget.
Round up. You always round up.
Round up then. So that before then.
No, isn't that like 3?
2.5 would be 3.
Yeah, 3.
What's
5.
Five.
Half
Two
of
and
it
a
is
half.
I
two
thought
and
you.
a
Oh,
half.
I thought you said
Yeah.
7. I thought you said 7.
No.
Right, sorry, 5.
Okay, that's interesting. So now we know, or we feel the damage doesn't seem to be as bad as it typically would be. So now I need to throw daggers at Tacklan to hit him.
Yep.
And hope it doesn't. Or actually, shall we swap shields and see if the stuff gets attracted to you first? Because maybe it's just my shield that does it.
Yeah, sure.
Are we okay to swap shields, Phil? I mean, I don't think we attune to these things.
No, nothing stopping you from swapping shields.
Cool. We swap shields.
Okay.
And then I have another go at Tacklan.
Okay.
Right, and then, right. 16.
Okay. Right. You throw the dagger. It mid flight. It arcs round and strikes you for full damage.
Strikes who?
You
For full damage.
for full
Yeah.
damage.
Wonder if it comes with a curse and a
Yeah,
bonus.
this feels like one of these shields have cursed you.
God damn it.
So yeah, you need to roll the damage.
Yeah, yeah.
So the curse is the missile attraction, which is on you.
So,
So you take 5 damage.
okay. Mafuk's tired of this game.
Why? It was just starting to get good. Keep going.
Yeah, shut up, you bloodthirsty little midget.
No, I cannot join us, man.
course, yeah,
I
you
hide
have a
behind the shield.
Must have done a fair bit of damage that by now.
Well, it's 5 plus 3 plus 2.
2. 10 points damage.
Yeah, 10. So that's like 20%. I'm perforated all over.
Yeah, that's pretty nasty.
I'm the
That.
same. Yeah. So it looks like both shields attract, but one shield reduces damage, which is that one that Tacklin's got, while this shield doesn't reduce damage. So you've kind of got the choice of 2 shields both attract, and one of them reduces damage. Does that make sense? Do you understand that correctly?
The logic is right, but obviously we don't know for sure. So if you want to swap shields, so I've got the one that takes damage, I don't mind. I've got a lot more hit points than you.
Well, I mean, if you rage, then you're taking half damage anyway.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
right, we
We'll
swap
swap
shields
shields.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I cast a cure on myself to try and heal myself up.
Okay. Okay.
Right, that's interesting. Right, what are we doing next, chaps?
Aside from waiting for word from Jabal, not a lot, I'm afraid.
No.
I don't know how to say his name. Is it Akina? No, sorry, Wakanga. Wakanga said he wanted us to see him before we left. Is that what he was talking about with regards to the Shield Guardian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's okay. So as far as we're concerned, we've got no other business in Port Nyanzaru.
Other
Guides.
than guides and
Yeah.
finding out where Dyson went.
So I reckon that's what we spend his time doing. we've got this obsidian statue, which I didn't think we were going to get, funnily enough.
You've also got the this old wizard's this journal from this wizard as well.
Yeah.
I like to study that if it's possible.
Okay.
I mean, if we have time, I sit down and start reading from the beginning to the end.
hmm
We've got nothing but time at the moment. So yeah, reading the journal, wait for Jabal, and trying to find information about where Big Bad Evil went. Are we all in agreement?
Well, if you guys are staying in the room, Fafook's going to head down to the common room and try out his new ballad that he worked so hard on over so many days. Heads down to entertain the troops. Am I okay to roll with advantage, considering I did a 20 on the
yeah,
common
I
edition?
suppose, yeah.
Awesome.
Oh wow.
Another one. Lovely.
Well,
Bye bye.
that's performance in the common room downstairs in the thundering lizard.
Okay, right. So yeah, that goes down the storm. So the no, it's only daytime, but you're drawing, you're playing draws in lots of extra customers to the inn, and the innkeep happily supplies you with free tankards of ale and encourages you to keep playing for the rest of the afternoon.
Ooh,
And that's where he spends his time rocking out in the common room.
I'll just be lurking in the common room, just listening, see if there's any information to be gathered,
Okay,
any new rumours or anything.
okay.
What day are we on? Sunday?
It is indeed Sunday, yes.
Hmm. Is the work on a Sunday, or is it everybody tools down?
No, it's Sunday's a normal day. It's God's day that's.
Okay.
The day of rest. And the dino races.
Although it's not necessarily in Chult.
Yeah,
This
just
is the
guess we're
is this
waiting
still the
then.
12th of Ready Read?
It is.
Is that how you say it, Ready Read?
Yeah.
I like building these in.
Okay. What about everybody else?
Reading the journal.
Yeah. How about Luhai?
No, I don't think I've got out to do really.
Okay. Radio. Where are we?
I'll be back in 2 minutes. Fafook's rocking out in the common room if you need him.
Let's see. Okay, so while you sat around, so Obald, you notice quite conspicuously, you notice a fellow half orc enter the inn, a female at that.
Hey,
Okay.
And she's dressed. She's dressed in plate armor and sweating heavily for it. And she comes in, approaches, goes over, speaks to the innkeep for a moment, and then like sits and casts her eye about the inn. When she sees you, she picks up a tankard and comes and sits down at your table.
I'll raise an eyebrow. Box style.
Says, "Greetings. I'm Undrill Silvertusk."
Undrill.
Undrill Silvertusk.
Say, hey, Undrill. Where do you come from?
I hail from the mainland. My parents from oh God, I forget what it's called. From the
Marge.
Pomage. Yes, my parents from the Pomage. Though I've sworn my soul to the fucking names of these people. One moment, forgot. I have to change. I have to change all the names because they're all forgotten rel names, and I have to find the proper one for Grey Orc.
Eat the pomage and
Yeah,
die.
that's it. But I've sworn my soul to Heronius.
Hey,
Oh no.
I thought paladin.
Erroneous the Lemming.
Says
It
I,
seems-
I'm newly arrived here at Port Yanzuru, and I seek assistance. I was misinformed that I would be able to but I will be able to travel by horse to my destination, but this seems quite impossible.
Yeah, I've only seen one place with horses on here, and they're not used to travel.
The innkeep tells me that you and your companions are planning to mount an expedition into the jungle.
We may be. Where is he looking to travel to?
Camp vengeance.
I'm travelling to join my fellows of the Order of the Gauntlet at Camp Vengeance. I have a number of dispatches to take from my superiors to deliver to the commander there.
Yeah, well, you may be in luck. We are intending to travel in that direction. We're just trying to organise a guide at the moment, though. Where is it you'll be staying? Is it here or are you staying at a different
I've just secured myself a room at this very establishment.
We've heard that the Order of the Gauntlet was had taken or had lost one of their encampments not too long ago. Take it that Camp Vengeance is the one that they've moved to.
It is indeed. They're taking a renewed stand against the undead hordes that taint this land.
Yeah, we've had a few tangles with the undead ourselves.
So, what is your answer, fellow kinsman?
Well, I don't see any issue with it. You would be able to join us when we branch out to travel down that way.
Excellent news, right? She like grabs your forearm and shakes your out of your arm in a traditional orcish manner.
Okay. I'll clasp her arm back as well. Then.
What's the name?
Undrill Silvertusk.
Andril Silvertusk.
Mm-hmm.
That was your dog.
I thought, yeah.
Oh, bow chicka wow wow.
Right. Says we shall speak later then.
Yeah.
Really important question. How does Cade feel about her?
Oh, Kate's not there. He's watching you two upstairs stab each other. Or he
Studying
was.
it.
It's
Or
still
he's
yes.
reading a
I'm,
book now,
Yeah.
isn't
I'm
he? Yeah.
studying the journal.
Probably still laughing about you stabbing each other, though.
Chuckling to himself.
Yeah.
That was quite a spectacle. Yeah, I like fun like this, you know.
So, yeah, I'll talk to you later and I'll introduce you to the rest of the group.
Right. She thanks you and
I will
departs.
ask how quickly is she wanting to leave? Because we've, like I said, we're still trying to organise a guide at the moment.
As soon as possible. She's no other means. It's not secured any other means of travel yet. So
Okay. Okay.
okay. Right. She thanks you again, and she goes returns to the barn, picks up her belongings, and retires to her room upstairs.
Fuki eventually runs out of material, and then enjoying the waves of adulation from all the followers, heads upstairs for a rest.
Okay. Right. Is anybody planning to do anything else for the rest of the day, or?
No, when everyone's together, I'll inform them about Undrill.
Okay. Right. Okay, so
He immediately starts working out how it can be the half-orc's wingman. I think you're in there. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
Yeah.
Get
Oh,
yourself
well,
some
quickly
tusk
close
glove.
that line of thinking.
Oh, do you prefer other kinds of half-orc? Fook's not judging. Just wants to know what kind of support his man needs to get. What's the expression these days? Is tusk tickled?
Singular or plural?
I don't know.
Has he got two tusks?
I haven't seen orc down below. Who knows? No, to be fair, we've probably seen him naked already. We'd know.
So it would probably help us, to be honest, having someone like Paladin of Heronius on his way down there, especially if there's going to be the undead that I expect there to be.
Yeah, agreed.
Crackling gives him the big wink. Sure, no problem.
Have to tell us you'll not be able to travel in that plate.
Yeah, tell a Paladin they're not going to walk by in plate armor.
Really warm around here.
okay.
Don't let me forget to get myself a set of armor. Either that or Kate's gonna have to cast armor on me every day from here on out.
You should be able to buy some armor from the Grand Soup.
Yeah.
Yeah. can do
You
some
can do-
shopping tomorrow.
Maybe you should do that now
Oh yeah.
while we're talking about it and nothing else to do.
Well, he's already been convinced to play for the rest of the day in here, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Implied with free ale.
Oh yeah, I ain't stopping till I collapse.
It's like a bank holiday weekend. Glorious. Let's do this.
Right then. So nobody's doing anything. Any other plans then for the rest of the day?
I will wander around the warehouse district, just not really looking for trouble, but being inquisitive, and just pushing my not 15 minutes of fame, as it were.
Okay.
Not too far though. I'm not looking for trouble.
Okay. Right. Well, so you spend your time wandering around. Every now and then somebody recognises you and cheers at you, or comes up and asks you to give them to scroll some kind of autograph or something on a handy piece of parchment.
I just do the generic dick, ball, shaft, ball, bell end.
What?
Just give him that instead of an autograph. Just draw a generic dick on a piece of paper.
Okay, right. The first person you do, or rather, yeah, probably the first person you do it, they like look at it and screw the face up. Oh, that's disgusting! And screw it up and throw it on the floor and wander off.
Wink at him. No accounting for taste.
Rolled a 1 on whether they were impressed or not. Right.
It's not a tracing. It's not real size.
Okay, so Solo's tackling searches for groupies,
Yes.
and for Fulk gets more and more inebriated, and his playing gets worse and worse, if that's possible. Cade studies his book, and the monks hang around in the bar. Yeah, it's going downhill. Yeah, you sort of while away the rest of the day.
Awesome. Fook needed to blow off some steam after all that.
Right. So
For what murder?
Yeah, sort of.
let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, Fook's probably going to collapse after that all-day performance. Just going to hit the sack and sleep till the next day, probably.
Yeah. So so you retire. Go to retire that evening anyway. Cade goes to leans out the window to pull the shutters. The shutters. Yeah, the shutters closed on the window. As he does so, a brightly coloured parrot flies past and drops a
Oh.
shit on his head.
These
Mhm.
fucking parrots.
Fucking parrots.
Cade, you can make
Fucking parrots.
you can make a perception check as well if you like, Cade.
The same one.
I really
Oh,
hope.
Wow!
Wow.
Ooh, oh,
So when did this parrot came out from the egg? How many years ago?
so you've got a sneaking suspicion it's the same parrot that shat on on Lu Hai,
And Obald.
an Obold.
Is it attracted to us, or is it some kind of, I don't know, magic involved, or what's going on?
Well, who knows? Who knows? Maybe the shit's magic. Rub it all over and see what happens.
No, I'm not doing that. I try to wipe it off and wash my head.
Does it
Thank
taste
you.
magical? Taste it.
You can taste it. I bring it to you. You can taste it. No,
Tastes like
Let's-
black guano.
It's
tastes
not.
like pancake.
It's not on my menu, but I don't know what you do with your food. You can try it if you want to. It might be
No,
nutritious.
no, it's good.
It depends
I'm-
on the
I'm fine.
diet. What do parrots eat? It's like nuts, isn't
S-
it?
yeah,
Pig.
nuts and possibly maybe a bit of fruit. And...
Mm,
And leaves.
not so
Anyway,
fruit.
so the next morning, you receive a messenger arrives to inform you that that Wakanga has spoken with Jabal,
Jabal. Yep.
and if it meets with your convenience, the guides will visit you at the Thundering Lizard that early that evening.
Perfect.
Sure.
That's okay with everybody else, and that's good with me.
Well,
But,
that
but
means
there's no meeting with Jobal.
Um, not at the moment, no. You'd have
Alright.
to. It did say that it'd speak to Jabal and just arrange something for the guides, but so you'll have to make other more arrangements if you want to speak to Jabal in person.
I mean, out of character, that's not what was given to tackling. He was given audience with
Yeah, I know, but
previous
that yeah,
of his
I think that's
choosing.
separate.
That's
I think
kind of what
that's-
we're after.
Oh,
Because we need to speak
If
to
it-
Jobal
if it-
about
if it-
Dyson.
If this is like foreplay before us talking to Jabal, then that's fine. But that's the end game was us talking to Jabal.
well, you'll have to make arrangements to do that.
Cool, fine. I have the right to do that,
You do,
so we can do that.
like I say,
Rock on up to Jobal's compound. Speak to his guards. Show your token.
On a Monday morning, though. Come
Oh, nice to start the working week.
on. Again, is it a bank holiday? Okay, then let's just take their lead and meet them early afternoon. Did you say?
early evening. Yeah.
Early
Yeah.
evening. Sorry. Yeah, fine. So through the rest of the day, again, just soaking up 15 minutes for me.
for food goes armor shopping,
Okay.
which is not something he's done since Fandolin.
I'll go with him, just so he's not on his own.
Okay.
Oh, cheers.
So that would be to
The Red Bazaar, I
yeah,
assume.
yeah.
Yeah, just looking at the kind of stuff. So I don't want medium armor because that's the stuff that I already had.
Not light.
Yeah, I want light. Yeah, right. All right, I'm in the right space. Adventuring equipment. Weapons.
Given Fafook's proclivities, it might be like studded leather armor,
Yeah.
studded on the inside.
Yeah, Fafuk hunts about, sees if he can find some studded leather armor.
Okay,
Something, something appropriate for the climate.
okay. We're thong.
Well, it's like cars in this country. So many people drive black cars in the UK. Only an effing idiot buys a black car in South Africa. Because you buy a black car, you open your door, it's like 100 degrees in there in the baking sun. Well, in this country, you open it in the baking sun, it's only like 50 degrees. You can't drive your black car, you can't actually drive it because it's too hot to touch.
As
For
the
like
owner of
half
a
an hour.
black car, I feel personally attacked.
Well, if you bought one in South Africa, pretty much everyone around you would be calling you an effing idiot.
Got aircon? No. Anyway, That's just,
So what's the rest of it? What's everybody else doing? So so Fafuk and Obald have gone to the Red Bazaar. What's everybody else doing?
I'll
Anything?
be keeping an eye out as well, Phil. Again, just to see if it followed or anything.
Okay. Is Cade continuing to study this book?
Yes, I'm preoccupied with the book until I finished.
Okay. And what? Oh, he's Tackling's milking his fame, is he? Looking for
still, yes.
admirers.
Well, you say it like that.
Like what?
Make it sound like me.
Yeah, it's not to the level of Fafuk. It's a little bit.
He just
I've
wants to bask in
I've earned this. It's not kind of.
He
It's
just
not
wants to bask in
fake.
the adulation, not attract
Yeah,
grouping.
yeah, yeah.
Just gonna,
This is earned adulation, not
So it's half the food.
fakeness.
what's he doing? What are you doing? Standing on the street corner. I earned this. I earned this. Show me some respect.
Look at my token. Yeah.
Respect my authority.
So I'm still just going to stay in the warehouse district,
Okay.
pretending I'm 10 bob millionaire.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Pretending I'm
You're like
something I'm
famous
not.
on late night TV, but you haven't hit the mainstream yet.
Perfect. Yes.
As a YouTuber.
Yeah.
Yet.
Okay.
Smash that like button. Hit the subscribe button. Comment down below.
Okay. Right. Okay. So yeah. So the day passes without any major events.
Do I manage to pick up some
Ye-
studded leather?
Yep. There's yeah. You can pretty much everything's available. Everything in the equipment list is available at the market at the bazaar,
Awesome.
and the prices are standard prices, I believe.
Cool. Well, I suppose it's the only armor you can really wear in these parts, so it's probably fairly common.
Common, yeah.
Alright, is there any chance? I mean, is it just like racks and racks of armor, and I just get some fitted for myself?
Yeah. So it's because it's leather armor. It doesn't require like a tailor-made suit. It's just like general size.
Buckled and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
and-
Yeah. So long as it's a general size, it'll fit. So yeah, made from tough, flexible leather. Studded leather is reinforced with close-set rivets or spikes. Armor class of 12 plus dex, and it weighs 13 pounds. Costs 45 gold.
It's a hell of a lot lighter than my breastplate.
Yeah, considerably.
Right. I'll let Obold sort of help me assess the stuff. Not that Obold wears armor, so what does he know? You don't wear armor, do you? As a monk.
No.
No. Right. After that, taking a few sights, and then I suppose, unless Obold wants to do something, head back to the inn.
I'm just acting as a guard at the minute, that's all.
Oh, okay. Fair dues. Yeah, I suppose I don't have anything I want to do unless Obold wants to go explore some of the dodgy areas of town just for giggles.
No.
Back to the inn.
Jacqueline would.
Um,
Tacklin and me would probably be playing poker right about now.
With no clothes on.
Where are we? Play handouts. No, not there.
Oh yeah, I
God.
haven't done my roll. Boring.
I'm looking for some.
I mean, is there anything interesting in the market? Something like something that stands out that grabs our attention, or it's just like it's obviously exotic and bright and different, but there's nothing there that
No,
like holy shit.
no, it's nothing. Yeah, it's quite mundane compared to the Grand Suit.
Okay.
Okay.
I could memorize Zone of Truth, and we could go talk to the Harbour Master.
So something to bear in mind with Zone of Truth is people know that that they're being affected by it.
Yeah,
Got
but
to
you have to
willingly
answer.
Got to willingly agree to do it, haven't they?
Sort of. You if you answer, you have to answer truthfully, but you don't have to answer.
Yeah.
Just putting out there as an option. Fook once had so enjoyed himself performing in the Thundering Lizard, he actually wants to go back and do some more.
Okay. Is that what folks doing? Anybody else do anything, or are you just waiting until your appointments arrive?
Wait until the appointments arrive. What sort of
So
questions are we going to ask them, though, first of all?
Jacqueline's not leaving the warehouse district.
What, tackling staying there till indefinitely? Till when?
Well, no, that's where he is at this moment in time. And
Yeah.
we're just waiting. Yeah.
Just hanging around there till the meeting.
Yeah, it's not staying inside the Thundering Lizard.
No. Yeah. Okie dokie.
Yeah. He's stretching his legs a little bit.
Very well.
What the hell is this link you've sent us?
What?
Just when you have a chance, just go down to the bit about the penance suit.
Oh, we've lost somebody. We've lost We've lost
I'm
Isvan.
here. I'm here.
Oh, we lost your camera on. Oh no, yeah. Oh, it's just really dark. Thought we'd gone.
Okay, let me put on the curtain. It might have.
No, I'm not wearing that. That just sounds shit.
Oh, I've got to put the banners on. Damn it.
Have you guys seen the movie The Mission
No.
No.
with was it Al Pacino? It was Al Pacino, and with all I would say is Robert De Niro. I'm pretty sure he does a penance where I think he has to drag all his equipment through the jungle for ages. Oh, Jeremy Irons, that was it. I can honestly say The Mission is a work of genius, and the score is by Morricone. Absolutely beautiful. That's where you get Gabriel's oboe. It's like the theme for The Mission. It was created for the movie. Yeah, I think that's where he does a penance. Drags all his equipment and implements of war through the jungle till he's forgiven. No, I'm not wearing a penance suit. It just sounds cack on so many levels. Was it the Catholics who like whipping themselves?
A branch of the Catholic.
Flagellists.
Yeah.
Flagellists.
Some that Dave wanted, they were the ones that they named in that Dan Brown book, weren't they?
Okay.
'Cause
Yeah, well,
that assassin were one.
yep. Are
But,
we
yeah.
waiting for Istvan?
What are you waiting for? You still can't see me, or sorry?
Oh my god, you're just like a black, just like a shadow within
Listen,
darkness.
I have 3 lights on. It's I don't know what's going on. Okay, listen, I drop out from Discord and reconnect. Let's
Look,
see.
look like you're at a rave.
Every now and then, like lights flash.
Oh, there you go. Oh no, that's me.
No, it's gone.
Same.
Same.
I don't know why.
It's
Hello.
just it's the low light thing on the camera. It just doesn't pick it up very well.
I have 3 lights on in the room. 3 different lights.
Yeah, but the low light sensitivity on the camera on the laptop just isn't very good.
Okay, so what am I supposed to do?
There's nothing you can do just until it picks up the light source again.
Okay. Sorry, I'm playing from the dark side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look all mysterious.
So all attacks against me disadvantage, alright? They can't see.
You could find a building.
Clever.
So, what questions are we asking these guys? Trying to determine which one's most suitable for us. About where they know how they know where they know to travel to.
Well,
Yeah.
I think the first big one is, you know, can they guide us to the Naga that guards an ancient city west of Mbala, other side of the Kahakla Gorge?
I think, well, we don't need to mention the Naga, but you can just ask them about Western Mbala and that gorge. And, well, ask them if they know how to get down to Camp Vengeance, since that's on the way. It looks like it's going to be a pit stop for us.
Perfect. That's perfect. Yep. So
And then
that's,
just-
I mean, that's number one.
And then ask them also where they know how to get to, just in case we can get like from any of the other guides where else might pick up from some of the other information that we've got and other places we might need to visit.
So
We
Oh.
could we pay them for that information rather than dragging them across?
Well, no, these are questions we're going to be asking them when we're interviewing them, because then that also gives us the information about who we need to go to get a guide to go to wherever else we need to go to as well.
Problem is, real world. If you ask somebody a question and they give you the answer, and you just take it verbatim, the problem is once you get in that situation, then it might not be true. So I do want to bring everybody across that we've got.
Yeah, but they're sanctioned guides, which means that if they don't know how to get places, they'll get back pretty quickly and they'll be unsanctioned.
Okay, so we need to filter based on that. We only want filtered guides talking to us.
And this is just ways to filter out the guides
Yep,
so we know
sure.
which ones we can take if we need to travel anywhere else as well.
I mean, we can ask for information for free. If they want to come, that's fine. But
we can also ask
as
if
it
they know where
stands,
that's.
as it stands, we're still in the Anzaru, aren't we?
Yeah. So all the information is all going to be free because we're asking them to take them on questions to decide who to take as our guide on this expedition.
Yeah, I guess.
So we don't need to pay them for
I
anything.
guess the cast off is whether we believe them or not. No, because anybody would turn around and say, "Yeah, come with us," they could send us in the wrong direction.
So that's where we want to go, I think. If you can see that.
The one west of Umballa.
Yeah. Also, I just thought of it, but Kahakla Gorge is actually on a different river. It's on the river. God, what is that? Sorry, my eyesight's going. Tash? Is that Tash? Tush. Tosh. River Tosh. So, you know, I assume there's going to be some kind of watershed difference. So you head up past the source of the river Soshan Star over some kind of high ground, and then you drop on the other side and you end up on the river Tosh to Kahakla Gorge, right? And Kahakla Gorge and the river Tosh ends up in Jahaka Bay. So I don't know about you guys, but I would love the opportunity to end up in Jahaka Bay and fuck up some pirates, and instead of walking our way back through the jungle, sail one of their fucking pirate ships back to Port Nyanzaru and collect a reward on their asses. What do you think?
River Taff.
Taff, taff. Sorry, I can't quite make that out. Taff. What do you guys think?
What was Kahakla Gorge for again?
No, Kakla Gorge is the actual description of where the Naga is. So we know it's
Oh,
on
yeah.
the river. Yeah. So we know it's off Taff, and it's west of Mbala. But the river Soshan Star gets us like really close. And there aren't mountains in the way because you'd see those, probably just like low hills. So we could probably head all the way up the Soshan Star and then cross country until we get to Tash, if they know the way.
Because they're two different things, aren't there? Because there's the Naga who's at past Kahakla Gorge.
Yep.
But the other one, the Oracle, is the
Same
one that.
thing. It's the same
Well,
thing.
It's not, because the Oracle was described as being
West of Mbala.
just west of Umbala.
Yeah,
That was
but
it. Of Oralunga.
but the Naga is in a ruined city on the north shores of the river Tash. So I mean the two are like within just a couple of miles of each other. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I may have made a leap, and I will apologize if I have. But I mean, those two are within spitting distance of each other if they're not the same thing. I think the Naga is a wise guardian of a ruined city west of Mbala, and the Oracle is in a ruined city along the shores of the river Tash. It's like close, like really close.
Yeah, because it just says a river Taff past Kahakla Gorge.
Yeah, that's right. So if we can get a guide who knows that area, we can probably tick off one, maybe two things right away, and then we have the option of going down to fuck up some pirates if we want.
So the main thing we need to ask then is if anyone knows the area between Umbala and Kahakla Gorge.
Yeah, or Soshan Star and Kakla Gorge, and the ruins that may be along the river, or the Naga, or the Wise Oracle. You know, either one will probably do for us. Because we need that Oracle before we can get to Omu.
Yeah, but I don't think we need to mention the Naga. We just need to mention if they know, we just need to ask if they know the area between Mbala and Kahakla Gorge. Because if they know that area, then they're going to know the area going down the Soshan.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed.
So just say we need to go to Camp Vengeance, but then we also need to go to somewhere between Umbala and Kahakla Gorge. And do they know that area?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
I don't think it gives us anything if we hide that information from people.
No,
No,
I
we
mean, these
don't.
guides. Sorry.
We don't want them to think we're just running around chasing after fairy tales,
Yeah.
because these are just rumors.
Mm-hmm.
But as long as they know the area, then we can help them. They can help us try and find what we're looking for.
Yep.
But the idea of what you've said is running around after fairy tales. So yeah. No, I'm in agreement.
Does Luzai or Cade have any dissenting views, or are you happy with that?
I'm
happy
happy
with
with that. I'm happy with that. No problem.
Right, that's the plan then, Phil.
Righto. So you're waiting your first appointment then, are you?
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay, so are you going to await them in the common room, or are you going to interview them privately in your room?
Private,
Privately.
if possible.
Okay.
please.
Okay, right. The first of your appointments arrives at promptly at 6 o'clock. There's a knock at your door, and when you answer it, a Chiltern woman, a young Chiltern woman, enters your room.
Ooh, hello. I didn't think I ordered dessert.
And she promptly leaves.
We're joking.
I think she's not up for the task. Next.
No. Let's
She
talk to her.
can't put up with one food joke. She's not gonna
Yeah,
last.
yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
No.
Imagine 2
Talk.
months into the jungle, she
Let's
would,
talk.
commit suicide.
Talk.
Okay, she stands about. She's a Chiltern woman, with reddish hair, and she stands about 6 feet tall. And she introduces says, "Greetings, my name is Azaka Stormfang."
Boom, bang.
So welcome, and I'll let her come into the room.
Okay, right. She comes in. She stands, and she clears her throat and says, "If you need a guide to get you through the jungle alive, then you will need look no further. I was born in the jungle. I know its dangers well and how best to avoid them. Should you choose me, you may rest assured that your party is in safe hands. I charge 5 gold coins per day and require a 30-day payment up front. For those who choose to aid me in a personal quest, I offer to waive my fee and guide you to places no one else has found."
Can I insight check her, please?
Yeah, insight check. Despite what it says in the rulebook, is not a lie detector, by the way.
Okay, then how does
Jacqueline
it work
snapped his
in your...
fingers and said, "Sold."
Hang on.
No,
No,
Kate is
no.
suspicious.
Just
Kate
come
is
and
suspicious. So
Jacqueline, stop trying to hire all the redheads. Calm down. I've got a few more questions to ask.
Love
so
it, Ginger.
am I allowed to roll or not?
You can roll if you want. Yeah, okay, of course you can.
What does
Well-
insight check do then if it doesn't do?
It's more like a psychology check.
So you
Okay.
can tell if they're withholding information, but not necessarily if they're lying, etc.
Yeah. So yeah.
Oh,
I'll ask. I'll say, well, we're looking to travel to Camp Vengeance, and then on between Umbala and Kahakla Gorge. Is that an area that you could cover?
Oh my God, stupid thing. Hold on, I need to get movies out of the way so I can see what I'm looking at. It says, yes, I know the. I know the route to the River Tath and Kakla Gorge.
Good. And what's this personal quest that you mentioned?
It would take us to Firefinger, where the evil terrorfolk roost atop the monument. They stole a mask from me, and I want it back.
What are terror folk? They sound terrible.
She says they're like reptilian, flying reptilian humanoids.
Whoa. Like pterodactyls.
Yeah, she nods. Yeah.
Okay.
Where's this fire tip?
She tells you that Firefinger is south along the river Tiriki.
All right. It's the river to the right of this Ocean Star.
Oh right. Okay. Gotcha.
Says
So we probably have to.
if you agree to assist me with this in this endeavour, then I shall be indebted to you, and I shall waive all of my fees for the extent of our expedition.
So I mean, we could go
Well,
down the
the
river
map-
to Ricky and then cross country it to Ocean Star.
It's a possibility. Okay, we'll consider her then. We've still got the other ones to interview as
Yep.
well.
Yep. So
I'll
she's got
thank
it.
her.
Right.
I'll thank her for her information and let her know we'll be in touch.
Okay. She bows and she leaves a token which she informs you is her symbol. So you should return the token whoever you wish to hire. To Jabal. It should be returned to Jabal. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, there's a
Stop.
stop.
We've still not met with Jabal, have we?
We haven't now, not yet.
Oh,
But
sorry.
we can
Name
speak
drop.
to him afterwards. No, we can speak to him afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. I forgot to show you a picture.
Oh.
Okay.
5 days for payment
Cool.
and the payment.
I like redheads. I married one.
Terrafork.
Right. Who's next?
Cool.
Okay. So your next appointment arrives shortly after Azaka leaves. Right, and there's a knock at your door.
Mm-hmm. I'll open it then.
And at the door is a middle-aged Chiltern woman with black dreadlocked hair.
Okay. I'll introduce yourself. I am Albold. You are.
My name is Eku.
Oh, welcome. I'll let her in.
Right, she walks in and she's wearing light blue robes and she carries a walking stick carved in the likeness of a feathered snake. She's about yep. She stands about 5 feet 6 inches tall and looks about 110 pounds. Smaller and slighter than Azaka.
Mm-hmm.
Right. She stands waiting to be given permission to speak.
I'll maybe continue then.
Right, she nods and says, "While the lure of pillaging the antiquity of Chult is a temptation, I appeal to those who find fulfillment in doing actual good in the world. I seek to rid the jungle of evil. There are many ruins and ancient temples that must be reclaimed so that the spirits of nature can return to these sacred places and live in peace. There are evil impostors who seek to blind you with promises of gold, but will only guide your throats to their blades. My rates are standard, 5 golds a day with a 30-day payment up front. A small portion goes to pay off the merchant prince Jabal. The rest I give to charity."
Sounds lovely.
I'll ask her the same question
What's that?
about the area. So we're going to Camp Vengeance, and then we're going to Umbala and the Kahakla Gorge. Does she know the area?
Does she know that area? Let me have a look. Ba-ba-ba.
I mean, do we ultimately should we have mentioned that we're looking for Omu ultimately?
No. Because that's not going to be on this expedition. I think that might be an expedition later on.
Says I can guide you to the ancient monastery of Kir Sabal and the garden palace of Nangalore.
Ancient monastery of
Kirstabal and Garden Palace of Nangalore.
Okay.
I don't think we want to go there. That's like, because Queen Zakezi's ruins on the river Olongu, the north shore of the lake Olong, and the north shore of the Lake Lua, which is not on the map, but I'm assuming is like somewhere further down. That's like the wrong end of the continent for us.
Yeah, Kirsabals. Yeah, well, where we need to go.
Yeah,
I'll thank her for her information anyway. Tell her we'll let her know.
Okay.
She's free to leave a token.
Okay. She leaves. She does indeed. She leaves a token and bows and leaves.
Then wait for the next one then.
Okay. Right. So there's about you're waiting about 20 minutes and almost give up. Think they're not going. Nobody else is coming. When there's you hear a bit of a scuffle outside and some voices, some hushed voices that are clearly arguing, and then there's a knock at the door.
Open the door then.
Okay. Right. Oh, somebody having a party.
No, people outside on the street singing happy birthday to someone. Perfect time at 11 p.m. upstairs.
Okay, right.
Kid. Get him, kid.
Stood at the door are two people, a middle-aged human and a grey-haired Lightfoot halfling. Right, they go to walk in the door at the same time and bump into each other and like scowl at each other, and then and then finally get him through the door and introduce themselves. We are Ferrul and Gondolo, says the halfling.
Which one's which?
Right, the halfling points up at the human and says, "This is Ferrul, and I am Gondolo." Right, they're all quite dressed in quite fine looking clothes, although they look like quite and they look quite expensively dressed, but also the clothes look quite worn and threadbare in places.
Well used. So greetings, and I'll let him speak their spiel.
Okay, so Ferrul is about 5'10", and he takes a short sword from his belt, in which he does and performs a fancy flourish with his sword. And it says, "Why pay for one guide when you can have two for the same price? We have the smarts, the goods, and our own Triceratops. Treasure abounds. When we're done leading to you to all the ancient sites and secret places that we know of. You'll be swimming in gold and magic. All the other guys will lead you in circles and make you do all the work. Don't be fooled. When we return to Port Nyanzaru, you will have tales and fortunes enough to last a lifetime. Our price is 5 gold a day with a 30-day payment up front, but we're glad to reduce our rates for an equal share of any treasure found. And as a bonus, my diminutive companion is a poet, pugilist, and philosopher who can astound you with important sounding facts.
Oh, these two sound perfect, says Fafuk.
I'm just giggling in the corner.
I'll ask them the same questions I've asked the previous to them
Do
about
we have to?
the
They look
yeah
perfect.
the area that we're going to down to Camp Vengeance and then in between Ambala and Kahakla Gorge. Do they know the area?
We know it well, we've travelled it frequently.
Being pugilist, then does one have a fist fight?
Sorry, say that again.
Being pugilists, does one of them want to have a fist fight?
No, we don't want to
No.
push up the
Why?
fights.
Why?
We're
We're,
interviewing.
we're,
not
in- we're
fighting.
interviewing them. We're not fighting them.
I think Tacklon's bored.
that's one of the.
I think
Did you-
Tacklon needs to go for a pint downstairs.
They just said that's one of their strengths. Pugilism, no?
No, I know, but we don't want you to kill them right now.
Okay, you fist fight them then. I'm just saying, if somebody comes and says, "Oh, we're good at fist fighting,"
I'll ask them to leave the token.
Okay.
And thank them for their information.
Right, the leaves token. Right, they head out the door. As soon as the door's closed, you can hear them out. Can't hear tell what they're saying, but you can hear them like arguing and.
I think the only thing they've got going for them is that they come with their own Triceratops.
but that is a big sell. We've got a Triceratops.
Yeah, it's a big cell until it runs over you. And the first sign of trouble, probably.
Can it ride in a boat though?
Yeah.
Well, that's true. Right. Do you have any more interviews?
Because we'll probably be looking to go down to Camp Vengeance on canoes, I would imagine.
Yeah,
Oh.
I would have thought so.
Okay, with the voices of Farul and Gondolo fading down the corridor, there's a like a loud banging at the door.
Open the door.
Right. A dwarf, a balmy-looking dwarf, strides in.
What dwarf?
Balmy, as in he's like.
You got,
Oh, Barmy.
you got the wrong room.
Barmy dwarf. Okay.
That you recognise him?
You don't recognise him, no. Right, so it says, my name is Hugh Hackenstone.
Nice, I
Okay.
like that.
Welcome.
There's greetings, fellow dwarf. I stood atop every mountain in Chult. I know every gorge, every crevice, every plateau and trail. My memory is an iron trap. I forget nothing. Trust a dwarf, I always say, because a dwarf will never steer you wrong. Fearless am I. There's no dragon, no beast, nor undead horror that scares me. You want a guide who runs away at first sight of danger? No, you want a dwarf, and I'm the toughest dwarf around. Red Dragon. You know,
You're hired.
at this point, you notice he hasn't one of his arms is missing.
I don't care.
Is a red dragon. See this here. See this here. A red dragon bit my arm off, and yet here I stand. Takes more than a dragon to stop Hugh Hackenstone. I charge 5 gold and expect a 30-day payment up front. Best coin you'll ever spend. I promise you that.
Tacklon jumps up, tries to high five him with the missing arm, realizes his arm's missing, and just kind of, oh shit,
So,
and then hires him anyway.
This
Uh,
is.
The rest of us are. No, I'm sorry, Tacklon. That's a
No, yeah, fair enough. If you don't want to hire him, that's fine. I'm hiring the one-armed dwarf. This guy's got character. Look at him.
Can we at least ask if he knows where we're going?
It don't matter.
Says, oh, I don't know where you go. Where are you going? I don't know where you're going.
Well, I'll give her the same question. So, because we're going down to Camp Vengeance, and then between Umbala and the Hackler Gorge, does he know the area?
He said, I know the area well. I can take you all the way down River Sean Star, down River Taff, and all the way to south of Jahaka Bay. And further, down to the Valley of Lost Honor. Past Ataz Yaklawazi, and as far south as Shilku Bay.
He knows that part of the coast at least. That's on our maps.
Out of character, there's been nothing that said that we can't have more than one guide, so why don't we just hire them all?
Not that rich.
I am. At this moment in time, I've got more money than sense.
I'll thank him for his information. Let him invite him to leave his token again, Phil.
Oh, I never gave you Ferrul and Gondolo's picture, did I?
No.
No.
I mean, if the monks want to send him on his way, that's fine. I'm definitely going to hire him. No.
So I think there's two more guides.
Well, I'll probably hire them as well.
Well,
God,
like I said, Phil, I'll invite him to leave his token and we'll let him know.
Okay. Right. So as Hugh Hackenstone leaves, he heads out the door. And you hear him pass on a friendly greeting to somebody else in the corridor. And another dwarf appears at the door.
Hello.
I'll greet him then, Phil.
Right, so this dwarf is quite unusual. Unlike any other dwarf you've seen before, his skin is a pale blue, and his hair as white as snow.
What?
Eh?
Hmm.
A white dwarf.
I'll usher him in.
Sorry.
Does it
Making a
say
bad joke
hell?
there.
The white
Hail
dwarf.
adventurer?
Yeah.
Does he have a paper in his hand?
Okay, right. He bows and makes like a traditional Chultan hand greeting. He says, "My name is Musharib."
Musharib. Welcome, Musharib.
Yeah. I'll invite him to do his spiel, same as everyone else then.
Right, he stands up really straight, and he says, "The jungle is my home. I know it well. I can guide you anywhere in Chult for a fee of 5 gold pieces per day. If adventure is what you seek, I can take you on a quest to reclaim Harakhamar, my clan's ancestral forge. A volcanic eruption forced us to abandon it many years ago. Fire newts that have since infested the place must be driven out or destroyed. At the very least, we must sneak in and recover a relic known as Moradin's Gauntlet. The fire newts must not be allowed to keep it. If you love dwarven kind, then hear my plea and join me in returning to Harakmamar. It is to its rightful owners. I will waive my fee for your promise of assistance."
Whereabouts is that?
It says Harakmamar lies within the Kobold Mountains.
Oh, kobold. Okay.
To at the western edge of the Valley of Lost Honor, beyond the Ataz Yakwalazi.
Uh-huh.
We're What
There's a vo-
can I
vo-
just ask what the Ataz Yaklawazi is? Because people keep talking about it.
It is. Let me see. What's the other the common name for it?
There's a couple of volcanoes down there in the Cobalt Mountains.
I'll have to find it in the book because it's not in that bit. One second. Ah. It says in your tongue it is known as the Gorge of Blades.
Oh god, that does not sound nice. Well, thank you. I mean, we specifically are interested in the region west of Mbala and potentially linking a journey between the river Soshenstein and the river Tash. Is that something you can do for us?
It is indeed. It is. It is on the en route to the to Hakama.
Okay. Thank you very much. Do we have more questions?
No.
No. Well, we thank him very much, and we respect his quest. We will let him know our decision in the morning.
Okay, this is what it looks like. Musharib looks like. See Musharib.
Yes.
Ooh,
Yeah.
he's a smurf.
Okay.
That's a shitload of stuff to do. Oh my god. If we do it,
Oops.
of course.
Okay, right. He thanks you and leaves his token.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay, so you wait about 5 minutes or so after Musharib has left, and there's what's it? Quite sort of sharp, quiet but quiet knock at your door.
Open the door.
Okay, right. You're greeted by a beautiful woman.
The Fook says she's hired.
Chilton or
She is she Chilton?
Does it matter? Does it matter? Sexy
no, it's
lady.
just
Yeah.
I'm just putting all the information down.
Oh. Okay.
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Well, the picture should say it, I'd imagine.
Well, no, it's hard to tell from the picture as well.
We'll just put
I
humans
would,
then.
I would say she's not Chilton. No, it doesn't specifically say she's Chilton, so I would say no.
Okay.
So she's about 5'4", so she's the shortest of the lot. She looks quite fit and athletic, and looks every bit the part of a seasoned explorer. She's got her eyes, her face is like around her eyes. Has got tattoos across from her eyes.
Like prison tats.
No, well you'll see they're on the picture anyway.
Okay.
Okay. So she smiles and introduces herself. My name is Salidar.
So welcome. We'll invite her in.
Right, she thanks you. And comes and steps inside. Says if I may.
Yeah, we'll invite her to start.
Says I have led
Vampire.
I have led many expeditions through the wilds of Chult, and I know secret trails that appear on no map. Hire others at your own peril. Azaka and Eku have led expeditions into the jungle that never returned. Farul and Gondolo are charlatans, plain and simple. Old Hugh suffers from mad monkey fever, I'm sure of it. And Musharib is an albino dwarf, and they're not to be trusted. I hear tell that River Mist and Flask of Wine owe money to the Brotherhood.
Who the fuck?
Five-
Rivermist and what? Sorry.
River Mist
And
and Flask. They are guides, but be wary.
They're not sanctioned guides then.
She nods. Says 5
Okay,
gold
so-
pieces per day is a cheap price to pay for your lives. I advise you spend your gold wisely.
Sorry, just to recap because that was quick. So, Azaka and Ekai not to be trusted, and Farouk and
Azaka and Eku have led expeditions into the jungle that have never returned.
Which ones are
Farul,
they?
Farul and Gondolo are charlatans, plain and simple. Old Hugh suffers from mad monkey fever, I'm sure of it. And Musharab is an albino dwarf, and they're not to be trusted. And River Mist and Flask of Wine owe money to the Brotherhood.
wow.
Azaka was the first one that arrived, and I think the first lady. And Eku, I think, was the second one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. And thank you for that information. Does she know the area between the River Soshan Star, west of Umbala, and the River Tash by any chance? That is where we're seeking to explore.
She says, "Yes, I know the area I know the area well. I can take you far. I can take you to the Tath beyond the Aldani Basin.
Aldani Base.
It's
Where's
not on
that?
the map. Where's the Aldani Basin?
The Aldani Basin lies at the heart of the jungle.
Okay. And can I ask what is? I mean, is that south of the River Soshan Star?
The Aldani Basin is the source of the River Soshan Star and the River Tath.
Oh, it's the source of both. Oh wow. Okay. Aldani Basin. Okay. Okay. Oh, you say she's a pretty lady, right?
Oh yeah, here's picture.
Well, that means for Fuchs on board straight away. Oh yeah.
Neck tattoo. Oh, they've been painful.
I shall make all these handouts like available to you as well.
Right. Well, do we have any more questions for the lady? Does she have any secret quests that she wishes to undertake while we're en route to our destination?
She chuckles. She has no. She says, "Unlike the others, I have no ulterior motives for guiding you into the jungle. I'm solely at your service."
Oh, the Fook likes the sound of this.
I'll invite her to leave a token. I know she'll out the door before Fook starts drooling all over her.
Okay. She leaves your token and she thanks you for your time and leaves.
Right, I think we should hire her. She looks. Oh, Cameron's almost 20.
Farul and Gondolu, them two that came together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The human and the halfling.
Tweedledum and Tweedledummer. 5, 6. Right. 6-sided die. For Fook decides he's supporting number 5. Who's number 5? The White
Hugh.
Dwarf. He looks
Well,
like
Hugh
he could
suffers
do
from
the
bad
job
monkey
for us.
fever.
No, he was Musharib.
I'm going to say,
Supposed
stop
to
saying
fall.
White Dwarf. We'll probably get shut down by Games Workshop. cease and desist notice.
No, Hugh Hackenstone was number 4, the balmy dwarf. To be fair, probably sounds like he's probably got mad monkey fever. Alright, sorry chaps, I've got to go. I have had...
There's another knock at the door all of a sudden as well.
Oh wow, okay, one more. I'll soldier on.
Okay.
Right. Whip open the door.
Okay, right. There's two feline humanoids outside the door. They're like quickly they quickly step inside and close the door behind them.
Like not suspiciously at all.
Right.
Wow.
River Mist and Flask of Wine, I assume.
Ah, you've heard of us.
Yes, your reputation has preceded you.
Right. So one of them introduced herself as River, and she's about just over 5 foot tall, and wearing some leather armor and has an eye patch, and she looks a bit like a lynx.
Okay.
Okay. Like tufty ears and everything.
Yeah. Right. A companion. She says, "This is my companion Flask." Who just nods. He's about the same height, and he's kind of looks like a white tabby cat. Right, they both look around furtively, and then lean in and say, "Beware, Jabal, and his no good flunkies. That merchant prince is about as trustworthy as a sack of snakes, as are most of his so-called guides. If you choose us, we will never lead you astray. River and Flask are up to the task." And the other one chimes in, "Up to the task.
Oh god.
That's our motto. Chult is our playground." Our playground? "We are fast, reliable, and know what we're doing." Yeah, we know what we're doing, don't we, Flask? 5 gold pieces per day and a 30-day advance is what Jabal's flunkies demand. We're happy to serve as guides for only 4 a day with no payment up front. Even better, we'll waive the fee entirely for equal shares of whatever treasure we find. What's your Flask? Treasure.
I think we should hire them just to make Phil do this for the next 15 sessions. Hey, Phil.
There we go, and that's River Mist and Flask of Wine.
Interesting. That's the same question then. Do they know the area between the River Ocean Star, Western Bala, and the River Tash?
We know of it. We can also take you to Firefinger and the froggy place of Dungralung.
What the fuck's that?
Froggies.
Where's that then? More or less.
It's south of the River Turiki. We've also heard stories about an old woman in Mabala who can bring back the dead.
Oh, do you know how to get to Mabala?
Yeah, we know it.
Well, thank you very much. I mean, do we have any more questions for the two?
No.
No. Oh,
No.
Thank you very much. I assume they don't give us a token. Where can we find them if we want to hire them?
Right, he hands you like a tattered piece of red fabric. Says, just hang this outside your window.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
Right. So River thanks you and goes out the door and closes it behind him. Flasks is still stood there.
I'll
Open the door to let Flask out.
yeah.
She's
Guide
not stood
Flask
out.
out.
She's not stood outside like a cat wanting to come back in again. It could take a long time. Stupid cat. Are there any more interviews? Or have we exhausted?
That appears to be the last of them.
Is them last two are not sanctioned though, are they?
No.
They're cheaper.
Before we
but
go,
If we
Phil,
get caught with unsanctioned guides, there's repercussions, though, I think.
yeah.
I think they are. Yeah.
Before we go, Phil, did Kate find anything in the book? In the journal?
Nothing. Nothing that that Wakanga hasn't. Nothing different to what Wakanga has said already.
Okay, so there's no new information. And did Kate finish reading the journal from beginning to the end?
Not yet. No.
Or not yet. Okay, still more work. Cool, no worries. Thank you.
Sorry, chaps. I think I've got to go.
Yeah, sure.
But there's a lot of good stuff here. I'll try and
Yeah.
get it typed up. I'll try and get it typed up tomorrow and sent out. We can start debating which one of these miscreants we're going to trust our lives to.
Yeah.
I would go for a sanctioned guide. I would eliminate the non-sanctioned dudes.
Yeah, I think that really pretty lady will be perfect.
I just don't want another city where we are banned from, you know.
What's one more city that hates our guts?
Yeah, but we might have to come back here to start another new expedition. I don't want to be hunted, at the moment.
Yeah, okay. Fair dues.
Okay, so
Right,
there should be a folder now called Port Yanzuru Guides that you can look at all the handout for each one.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, Phil.
Cheers.
I've added some of the information onto the Schultz information gathering bit in the play journal as well.
Nice. Thanks, chaps. Good
See
session.
you later. Thank you.